We'll do it
Same.
live, truck it. I'm also going to shut my door so I don't hear myself talking through your speakers.
Oh, yeah. I can. Got myself
All right.
log into our
I'm
DeFi
getting
wallets
into
too.
the SAG after strike stuff.
Yeah. They voted to strike this morning.
Yeah, I mean, the board voted the strike this morning in June. 98% of the actual members voted to authorize a strike. And then they're like, okay, let's use this as leverage to argue or, negotiate contracts. And they couldn't negotiate a contract in a month. So then they took it to the board and the board just voted. So now the strike is official.
Yeah. I forget who it was, but there was like one of the like some leak from like one of the higher ups where they were of the like on the other end of these strikes where they're basically saying like the plan is to just like let them strike for a while until they run out of money and become desperate.
They said by like this winter they'll be out of money and they won't be able to afford their mortgages and their apartment payments and they'll be starving and they'll have to come crawling back. But I also think that's a
Yeah, like
negotiation tactic. They say that shit anonymously, publicly to try to scare people into caving.
I feel like that kind of shit serves to like strengthen my own resolve in like a strike. I'd be like, I would not come calling back because this guy's fucking needs a second
Definitely makes
yacht.
me like them even less. It's like, oh, that's your that's your fucking
Yeah,
thing. Because they're also probably gonna lose a shit ton of
not
money. So it's
win-win
not
enough.
like they're not also super financially affected by this. All right, gotta
Yeah,
go to Twitter and post.
let's see,
Pretty
Taco. I
big
feel like
news
I'm
though.
probably the only. That's yeah, definitely.
Because the writer strike is one thing, but like you can't shoot anything without SAG actors pretty much. Like, yeah, you can not write new stuff, but you can have like independent writers and you can fucking try to make Chat GPT write you scripts and then just cast people. But if you can't cast actors
Yeah,
that
see
are in
how
the
that
guild,
goes.
then like you're not shooting anything that people are gonna want to watch.
Yeah,
I do think we could just see a ton of reality TV and like true crime shit produced though. They might just like pivot hard into non-scripted stuff because I don't think like nobody that is on like the cast of those like cooking shows or like those people aren't SAG actors. So like you can still shoot all sorts
yeah.
of nonsense like that, and we could just see that become like the meta for streamers right now. We are live for
Let's
Tech
see.
Tuesday.
All right, let me check.
I hope the thing that I'm supposed to be working on is not canceled though, because I was really excited to work on it. It's also a
Yeah,
script about AI and how agents are going to use AI to fuck over writers, and that's part of the reason why the writers are striking. So it's like super fucking relevant to what's happening right now. Though I shouldn't have sworn in the first 5 minutes. There goes our potential monetization.
and it's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, like the reason
Cool.
why, one of the reasons why they're striking is they're like, we would like ensured in the contract for the new Writers Guild contracts that you can't use AI to replace humans. And the studios are just like, nah, like, go strike, fuck you guys. Why
The
no
AIs are
soundbite?
not good enough. They're not good enough yet to for the studios to be that confident.
The studios are that confident. They wouldn't, well,
Yeah, they shouldn't be.
they're saying like, no, like screw you writers, we won't put that in the contracts. The sound bites, Max needs to fix his streaming thing. I have the sound bites working on my screen share, but that's up to Max to fix.
Okay, I gotta fix that.
Princess Phoenix is asking why when people do like the wassa stuff, they're just spending points and getting nothing for it.
Uh, my bad. I'll figure that out. Figure that out later today. Put a fucking.
What's going on,
That's been broken
Ramza?
too long. Let's see. I'm about to send some rewards. I usually do 2 a week, so it's since I missed last week, I'm gonna do 4. 4 neon
And the KY says
Centaur
it should
wallet.
actually be AI fucking over striking actors. The Writers Guild is also striking though. So I feel like it's already pretty meta. It's like I can tell you synopsis of the play. Like a writer writes a book that does really well, and then he confesses to his agent that he used like a chatbot to help him write the book, and then the agent goes, "Wait, how does this chatbot work?" And then the agent's like, "I'm just going to use the chatbot to copy your book and rewrite it for myself." And the agent basically learns that he can use it to like just steal writers' work and then make that as movies, and they just cut the writers out of the entire process, the people who have the original ideas, and then I don't know. That's like exactly what's going to fucking happen if they let studio execs and people use AI to write scripts, which is why the writers are striking. And it's again, yeah, the writers striked like a month ago. They've been on strike, maybe even for 2 months, and the Screen Actors Guild is striking like in solidarity with the writers right now. But the WGA, the Writers Guild Association, I think it is, they've been on strike for a minute. Yeah, the play is like super relevant to what's happening right now. So it would be a bummer if they weren't able to put it on because I think the lead actor is in SAG. He's actually like an award winning playwright and play actor. He's been in another play that the producer published, but it's a non-SAG production, so it could still happen. But it's really just like he wrote it and is acting it, so it's up to him if he wants to not do it out of solidarity. But like no one is actually going to stop it from happening besides the lead actor, which I also totally understand if he wants to walk out of solidarity. I would not blame him. I would just be bummed out as someone who is excited to work on it because I haven't worked on a scripted production in quite some time and probably will not for quite some time if everybody's on strike.
Yeah, that whole side of it sucks so much because that like being bummed out of not doing these types of jobs is the leverage that the studio has over like the professionals. Because you like your job, they're gonna try to fuck you. It's kind of shitty.
Play is being filmed, so it's technically a short film as in addition to a play. It's being performed in a playhouse, like a theater, and then we're recording in the theater, which is
Yeah, most like small theaters around here. I know Toon was asking if like the government subsidizes the arts in the United States or if theaters make enough money, and they usually don't. And most like small theaters are uh, like rich people who are retired have like a side thing where they own a theater, and you know it's like a hobby for somebody.
this
There's
also is not a
usually
theater
it's not really a
production.
yeah.
My friend Ari is paying money to rent out the theater to be able to do this, and that's how he also puts on like Mr. Yonoshi is the name of the other show, and that one's about like it's about like Asian stereotypes in the media. It's a play about that, and that's the one that like won awards and stuff for this actor. And this is the second run they're doing, but they had to rent out the theaters for those. They don't just like get given the show. They pay for the money. They have to pay the theater up front, and then they have to sell enough tickets to make enough money to cover the cost of renting out the theater. So it's like it's not really a theater production as much as it is
Yeah.
a producer rents out a theater and tries to make their money back. Which I don't know how like you get like an official theater production, but my buddy Ari is saying that they're starting to like potentially give him spots at that theater without making him pay up front just because he's done so many profitable shows for that theater. But
Nice. Yeah,
it's
the
definitely
theater productions that Paul and I have put up will rent a theater from like a complex of multiple theaters, and like it's like a relatively big operation there, and then it's like $250 for a night of the space if you want it from like 7 p.m. to like 11 p.m. And on top of that, you have to have your own commercial insurance in case people get hurt on the property. You as the renter of that property are liable for that, so you have to have insurance, and
that's
the insurance
also
for that is like $250 a year to have that type of insurance. So it's not like crazy expensive, but that is an all upfront barrier to like starting to just do your own shows around town. I would say.
also even in like music, it's actually if you can sell your own tickets, it's way more profitable to do it that way. Like the other way is that the venue takes a percentage of all the door sales. So like if you are doing like not an upfront, you pay upfront deal and you sell it out, they're basically just getting a shit ton of extra money for like the work you put in to promote and sell the tickets because I don't know, a lot of venues do zero work to actually promote the shows and then they just skim off the top. And venues are actually now starting to charge percentages of the merch table from artists. They're like, we want 20% of your merch sales if you play here. Like it's getting real BS,
Sneaky,
but the people I've
cheeky.
talked to that are very smart at business always say rent out the venue. They're like, you can do a deal at the
Yeah,
Roxy where they get 30% of the door, but if you sell that shit out and rent it, you're making much more than what that 30% charge is.
yeah,
So
yeah. When you do a 250 for a night, and you're doing 7 to 11 p.m., you can do very comfortably two shows that are like an hour shows, including like filling and emptying the house. And like in a pinch, you could do three shows, where it's like since you're starting around 7, if the first show is like relatively stripped down and doesn't require a bunch of setup, you could start a show at like 7:15, and then like 8:15 to 8:30 or whatever, people are clearing out and clearing in, and then like 8 to 9 you could have that slot, and then 9:30 to 10:30, and then clean up and get out. And you like Paul and I will almost always break even. And if we have any overflow money, then we are actually able to pay people who come to help put on a show. But it's there's usually not a lot, not a lot
Priscilla's
to pay people
asking,
with.
will you be giving away some promo packs today? If so, let my Discord know. To be honest, we can, but like this is gonna be a real off the rails stream. We're already 10 minutes in, and all I've done is rant about the Screen Actors Guild going on strike. So I will say yes, we'll give some away, but it might be 2.5 hours from now at this rate because we're not doing very well at being productive. So yes, we can give some away, but
we could start by just jumping straight into some like looking at market stuff and just discussing some Tech Tuesday topics that we skipped since this Tuesday. I guess we got real technical, but not market related. When we
also have all the off the rails stuff to do too, so we haven't done that. I think last week we did an interview on Thursday, so today's going to be a real crowded. Or maybe we'll do off the rails tomorrow, but I'd be fine to do it
spread it out a bit. I'm down to spread it out too. Let's see.
Do you want to show off Wapaka's tool one more time before?
So I just distributed LP rewards. So you can see here transactions are finished. Checked. Boom. And those 2 transactions there are, let's take a look on blocks. LP.neon. And those transactions are right here. Yeah, that's fine, babe. Sorry, it's pausing. Those transactions just got pushed right here. And you can see those are like sending Neon to a bunch of different wallets. So it like bundled all that stuff for me, which was really nice. And then take a look at this. He's been updating it. So instead now up here, we can also toggle between Alcor, DeFi Box, and Taco. Right now, all of our liquidity that we're rewarding, that we're paying incentive rewards to every so often, trying to do it every week, is all on DeFi Box. And then here you can see the DeFi Box pool and how it's split up. And, I've unchecked myself and Lewis and Mark, so our team wallets don't take a cut of the distribution from the rewards. Otherwise, I own 74% of this guy. I think 47, sorry. But here, check this out. He just added Alcor. And this is Alcor V, the V2 setup now. So like the asymmetric liquidity, you can see every position and how it's like set up for Wax and Neon. So like
if it's out of range, does it count as the share or no?
No, it doesn't. Like that's this cool. One wouldn't count. So if I said like send 4 Neon rewards right now, I have it set to, and you can see this person's getting nothing because they're out of range. But you can see like most of it is going to, oh nice, most of it's going to this .wham.
Hey, look, I'm number 2. That's the initial liquidity I provided, and then when we migrated to DeFi Box, I just didn't pull my Alcor liquidity. I just added more liquidity on DeFi Box.
Yeah, I'm curious. I thought I had some.
You do Max Collected number 4.
Max Collected. Okay, I have some here. I thought I had a couple from in yield farming.
I think you moved most of that over to DeFi Box.
Oh, you know why I'm not seeing yield farming is because if I check exclude wallets, I think it's still carried over from the last time. Let's see.
Yeah, the SAG strike is definitely a bummer for pretty much
there it is.
Everybody working in Hollywood, Priscilla. It's like I'm supposed to be working on a play next weekend, and it might not happen now because the lead actor's in SAG, but it also might happen. But sucks for the crew, sucks for the actor, sucks for the writer, sucks for like anybody that's a part of this gig economy, which is everybody working in Hollywood, basically.
There we go. So here I do have, so I have targeted liquidity. That's what I was going to say. So see how yield farming, I have like, it's way tighter. What is it? Between 10 and 15 wax is where all my liquidity lives here. And so I'm actually 76% of the liquidity pool because of how tight that is, and therefore I'm getting 76% of the rewards. So it's even like giving me a bigger cut of what I'm paying out based on how like much of my liquidity is in range, which is kind of cool. I definitely like that.
The other thing we're talking about prior to going live was potentially changing our rewards over to Alcor. but I feel like the most appropriate way to do that would be a DAO vote. So maybe we'll put up a DAO vote. I don't know. We're not really
Yeah.
fans of DeFi blocks. We feel like they kind of screwed over the Wax community and they just tried to like suck all the liquidity out of Alcor by pump and dumping incentives for every token to convince them to move over, and then just ditching the incentives as soon as the liquidity moved, which was kind of like a
Yeah.
shitty move in my opinion. And they've literally done nothing for the Wax community since then. So I'd be inclined to say I'm down to go back to Alcor, but it's also, it's the
Definitely.
communities. You guys are the
Alcor
ones who
would
get the rewards.
also Alcor also will give the like people in our community the ability to supply liquidity in like asymmetric. You don't have to do like even parts Wax and Neon. You could then decide how much of your liquidity do you want as Neon and how much do you want as Wax, which that's also I feel like a
We also
benefit.
like Taco, but we don't like that Taco doesn't have
Taco's a
automated
big
market making. Like until like I would move over to Taco if they had AMM, but
the routing is missing
Alcor is
still.
just much more
Like
functional in my opinion. But I do like everything Taco's doing. I just
same.
would like it more if they had AMM, which is basically
Yeah, the
like,
trade routing is kind of like the big one for me
yeah, if we
too.
can do like Neon into TLM, you can't do that unless Neon is paired with TLM. You have to manually go trade Neon for Wax, then Wax for TLM. And on Alcor, it just finds you the best route automatically. So I feel like
Yeah,
it's a
on
more
DeFi Box
functional way to
too.
trade.
DeFi Box was also like that was part of the reason why I had initially like been more excited about DeFi Box and supplying liquidity there. It's because they actually had trade routing for the liquidity pools
I do
before
like about
Alcor
Taco
even
though
had
that they
that.
have automated rewards. Like the fact that we could just put our
Yeah,
rewards into the pool and then have them give out to people. That's pretty great,
I like
but
that. I like that too.
I guess we could also just hold out if they're going to add automated market making, so we don't have to make people move from DeFi box to Alcor then to Taco, because that would be annoying. Because that's the other thing, we
Yeah,
don't want to
that's
make people
true.
just constantly move their liquidity around. So we can do a
Yeah,
vote. We can. That's the whole point of the DAO is we can ask people, would you like to move your shit over to Alcor, or would you rather just keep it on DeFi box? And Max and I don't receive any rewards, so it doesn't really affect us as far as like having to move
yeah,
liquidity and stuff. So it's really up to the community.
which is great for that too. Because check it out, if I'm sending out 4 Neon as the reward for the Alcor liquidity providers right now, 3 of that goes right back to me. So if I exclude myself, the next person who's supplying liquidity here, who would otherwise only get 0.4 because I exclude myself from the rewards, that person gets 2.1 instead of 0.4. Like, boom. That happens right now too, though. Obviously,
Yamster
like
says burn all the tokens. I don't think that's going to be an option in the DAO vote.
burn which tokens? Burn all the Neon tokens, or the Box X tokens, which is the Neon liquidity one.
I mean, we couldn't do that. We can only burn our own Neon.
I guess you could send like Box X tokens to a wallet that like doesn't have private keys, so it'd effectively be burned.
It'd be better just to unpair it and then burn the Neon, in my opinion. Because
Yeah,
you can
definitely. I
literally
agree.
burn. I guess you can't actually burn the Neon because if you burn, like, it's just going to sit in the tokenized NFT contract after you, like, once it's minted, you can't unmint it, I don't think.
Yeah,
Like, you can burn the NFT counterpart, but you can't burn what's sitting in the contract waiting to get pulled back out from the NFT counterpart.
yeah, that's true. Although you could reduce the circulating supply by just like pulling a bunch of Neon over the bridge back to NFTs and then burning all the NFTs.
Yamster says, but if the people want it, the way our DAO works is you can only vote on things we propose, and we're not going to propose that. So
Yeah, you
we're
don't
very
have to put.
not into the idea of people deciding what we do financially with our project. Like, I don't know, people are only interested in their own self interest. And if people can whale into our project to make our project worse for everybody but themselves, they will 100% do that. We see that happening with the Alien World DAO. We're seeing that happening with the Bulls DAO. Like, people are just greedy and want their own self interest to be pumped. So, like, we're not going to allow people to ruin our project because of their own self interest. So our DAO isn't
Yeah, here we go. Here we
necessarily a
go. The tech.
DAO in like the sense of like anybody can propose anything. It's a DAO in the sense that you can decide between two options that we both think are viable options.
Yeah, here's the DAO. It says right here, who can propose. This DAO is set to author only, which means that only approved accounts can make proposals, and these 3 accounts have approval for that.
You're gonna have to steal our
So
private keys if you want to propose something. Good luck.
Yeah, these are pretty. This is a cold wallet. This is a cold wallet. Airdrop.neon is a hot wallet, but I think those private keys are also like, this is your best bet if you're trying to attack us.
This is also I mean, at that point, if you get access to airdrop.neon, you can just mint infinite neon into your
Yeah,
own
you
wallet
can
and
just
raise
mint the
liquidity pools
tokens
too. Like,
yourself.
you can do way worse shit to our project than make a proposal that we don't have to follow through with anyway. But
Yeah, that's true. I guess, I could mitigate that risk pretty easily by just removing the airdrop.neon permissions from Neon Space whenever we're not actually using it to mint shit.
I was still a
Although
fan
I'd
of
have
having
to,
a separate wallet called mint.neon for that, but
I do too, actually. I'm down to like airdrop, because airdropping doesn't require
it requires
permission.
CPU,
Oh, I
which is the
guess.
annoying thing. Like, because the annoying thing is we need a CPU for the minting, and we also need CPU for the airdropping. So, like, that's why it's done in the
Yeah,
same account for CPU purposes. But you could just remove the permissions each
that's
time, but
true.
that's also
Plus,
kind of annoying because you have to go sign it on your ledger. But
I also feel like with the current like state of rentable CPU, it'd be a lot cheaper. We just spend like 20 wax and rent all the CPU we need to do all the minting.
it's free if you
Like, that's true. It is
yeah.
free the other way around, but
Free is better than
yeah.
20 wax. This is kind of a random question. We're real off the rails today, but do you know venues that we can rent that we could cook in? Because I feel like you can't like barbecue in a theater, right? Like,
No, yeah. I guess
I
the
love the
problem
idea of
is cooking on site is always tricky. You can bring food into a lot of the venues as long as you're not selling it. Um, like if it's just you can bring food and people can have it, that's fine. Same with
So
like
I'd love to do
alcohol
a
and
neon
stuff.
get
Like
together where we
otherwise you need
cook and we could
licenses.
bring it, but we still like I don't know, we can't even barbecue where we live. Like if we wanted to like invite Yamster over to help barbecue for the people we need to cook for, like we wouldn't be selling the food on site. It'd be like a
Yeah.
potluck. Anybody who pays for a ticket in can eat food for free. So
Yeah, that's like the workaround.
I just don't
Like,
know like where
yeah.
would we prepare enough food for actual meals for maybe like, 20 to 50 people. Like I don't know if we can
Yeah.
handle that in our kitchen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have
But
to
I
think
love the
about
idea of
that.
doing a Neon Space get together, and since we have all those theater connections, like, it'd be cool to rent one out
Yeah.
for an evening and invite people to come hang, eat food.
I
Could
think there's a couple I can think of right now that have like a like fenced in parking lot in the back where you could set up like a barbecue outside of the
That's
theater.
what Yamster's saying,
So
they
that
would need
it'd
a
be like,
parking lot.
yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a few venues I feel like that could go for something like that. Yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
know.
fun.
We'll think about it. Neon potluck.
Definitely.
God, that'd be so fun. It'd also just be fun to see all y'all. I know,
Yeah, it would.
Priscilla's doing a
Put
get
some
together
faces.
soonish. I think it is that SDCC?
Is it around here? Maybe we should go visit and come
It's in
just
San Diego.
just
I
meet
was telling
everybody
her
there. That'd be
if
fun
you're
too.
down to help transport, I don't really want to drive there by myself, but I'm down to go if you're available and want to.
Yeah, to check on the dates, but I'm pretty sure if I'm around, I'm into it.
It's not that far. Could also maybe, and if Paul's down to
It's like
go,
2
try to make
hours.
some sort of like day trip out of it to
Yeah.
go see some shit. I've actually never been to San Diego the
I'm into
entire
it.
time I've been living in LA.
I'm totally into it. Also, just meeting people would be fun. Meeting like the people that you know now for a couple years is like,
It's next Thursday,
I'm into
says
that.
Hamster.
Okay, next Thursday.
But yeah, let's
I'm
get
pretty into
into
that. Yeah,
we'll get
we'll
into
figure
some
that out. Yeah, that
DeFi
sounds
stuff,
fun.
and then we'll do off the rails. Prince X Phoenix said she wants to watch some off the rails videos today, so we'll get to at least some of them. We might not get through the full list, but today was pretty big news in crypto. XRP has
Yeah.
been having a lawsuit, or the SEC has had a lawsuit against. I don't even know, is it a lawsuit, whatever it's called. They're basically saying that cryptos are security and XRP is a security, and this is like the legal precedent of all cryptocurrencies that you can trade considered as securities. And they won the lawsuit, so it's not considered a security. So it's having an effect on the entire cryptocurrency market, where it is pumping because people are now no longer afraid the SEC is going to shut everything down, basically.
So I pulled up a couple of screenshots from that here I can share from that news. So you got the XRP on exchanges. This is like there's a distinction because it's a little bit of a mixed kind of ruling in this XRP case. But the main takeaway is, like Lewis is saying, it's not a security when it's being sold by a crypto exchange like the exchanges that we all use. but when it is being sold, let me pull up the other I have another screenshot that explains it better. When it's being sold on the institutional level, it was a let's see. Here, there you go. Ripple's institutional sales of XRP constitute unregistered offer and sale of investment contracts in violation of Section 5 of the Securities Act. So there was securities violations happening on an institutional level, meaning when XRP and Ripple, the project, was selling, Ripple tokens to exchanges or to broker firms, stuff like that. That was a transfer of an investment. But when a broker was selling XRP tokens to users who signed up and made accounts and bought them, that is not the exchange. So that was basically the big thing that was like looming over all the exchanges about like, oh, is every one of these fucking crypto tokens that you're trading an unregistered security? And this is the first ruling now that is shedding light on that, kind of like saying no, it's not. They're not. That's not what an unregistered security is, and the SEC doesn't actually have jurisdiction to regulate that space. Basically, what it would then turn into is that when you're trading cryptocurrencies on an exchange, what you're doing is you're buying and selling equity assets, not security assets, and therefore whole different tax structure and whole different regulatory agency. And that type of clarity, fantastic news. You get clarity like that, is good for business, is good for crypto, and is good for speculation and hype. So today, when that news went out, if we look at like the 15-minute chart, for example, news about SEC ruling really giving us a nice pump. Although nice to see the indicator already was expecting a little bit of a pump, so that's cool on the 15-minute chart, which we're not really looking at often. But yeah, let's take a look at the crypto market now on the daily again, and take a look at what we think is going to happen in the coming days, weeks, and in the wake of this kind of news. I think it's personally, by the way, like my takeaway from today's news in crypto is like this is very positive. It's nice to see, the clarity coming into these kind of like topics that have been very drawn out and have been waiting for this type of clarity for a long time. But it's also a very kind of like small step in the right direction. There's still a lot of I think it's still going to be a while before things like the Bitcoin ETF get approved. So we still got like positive things to look forward to, but in the meantime, this is a nice little surprise on what is it, Thursday morning. So looking back at our Ethereum chart here, I always trade ETH and Bitcoin to kind of get a market kind of like direction here. And ETH and Bitcoin have been, I'm going to zoom all the way out first to get our overall sentiment on the weekly chart. The trend, the bear market kind of trend has kind of been signaling a reversal for a while. We were, pumped up about here, and I was kind of concerned that we're going to get a pullback and a bounce off of the strength band. So this green line here, which we did actually get, this wick you can see bouncing straight off of the band, and this being then a potential flip of the support resistance level, where this would have been a previous resistance level, where you can kind of see the market pushing and not kind of get over this, until now it is becoming the line where we're bouncing off of rather than trying to push and getting rejected. So nice to see a bounce, nice to see lots of room on the RSI here on the weekly. So potentially bull trend continuing for the next few weeks, at least with the momentum of the bull trend, rather, is what the RSI is kind of giving us indication of. And then the all important one that I'm always looking for to give me like confirmation that we're flipping the market trend is the on balance volume. And I want to see a higher high, a higher low coming in. And let me take a look. I'm going to reset the chart here. And let's take a look at that. So kind of this is the start of the bear market up here, where we're getting the flip in the color, getting the bear print, also getting the market to start making lower highs. Here you can see, and starting that lower lows that truck down, while the on bounce volume previously has just been climbing. So once we got that reversal, we knew, okay, this low here is the first kind of lower low since almost like ever. See these lows peaking up. Even this would have been, I guess, the first kind of low. and then this will be the first time we got a lower low. So here, around here we're getting like a confirmation the trend is changing, and then even though the price did rally all the way back up here, you can see lower high as well, very much confirming that kind of initial indication. So around here would have been an easy spot to be like, funds over, let's get out, which is kind of what we ended up doing almost 2 years, like a year and a half ago now. It's been a minute. So that's kind of what we saw there and how we made the call for the top of the market. And the top of the market being not the very tippy top, but this would have been our call to exit, and is where we were calling to exit back then. And now what we're looking for is a reversal in this flip or in this trend, and we want to see now higher high and higher lows. And let's see if we can realistically say that that's what we're seeing. So right now here you can see markets. I'm kind of framing this here, bear market entirely here, boom, bear market. So we're doing lower lows, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and another lower low than the previous low, even though at this low where we're here, it looks like the spot price is about the same, or maybe even a little higher. And then we got a little pump here, a little peak, but this is still a lower high. See all these peaks, lower, 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 lower. And that peak came also along with a higher spot price. So you see the market here is higher than it was, at least than it was here, definitely than it was, at this point. And you can see that the unbalanced volume kind of here, very much still a lower low or lower high. And so we kind of dropped back, but haven't really made a low again. Like this, you can see in the price chart, we didn't really get a nice big red drop candle anywhere here. So we haven't really seen a retest to see if we're getting a higher low. So what we're still looking for is a higher high. And you can see here, this is definitely higher than this last peak here, and then this last peak here as well. But the spot price is also a lot higher. You can see we're around 2,000 now. And
I'm the KY said it's good for markets that relisted. XRP is still kind of boned with the but part of that ruling. What was the but part of the ruling? Did I miss that?
For the post, yeah. So the but part is, but Ripple's institutional sales of XRP constitute unregulated offer. Yeah, I mean there is securities fraud. Like they definitely will be paying some type of like fine or getting some kind of like settling for the suit, I would say, since the finding from the judge says no, not everything was the case. So that's why I was trying to emphasize the reviews were mixed, but the part of them that isn't the negative is a very big precedent to set when the whole market is so uncertain about like, hey, are all of these assets, other than what has explicitly been said, which is literally only Bitcoin and Ethereum, like is everything else a security? And we've all basically been in the dark on that until today, when
Ripple's also kind of been a shitcoin for a really long time, so we don't actually really care about Ripple specifically. It's more of like the general sentiment.
It's the legal precedent, yeah, and the implication that has on the tokens I do care about is why Ethereum is seeing some nice pump and Bitcoin is seeing nice pump, even though those have already not been been verifiably not securities. But yeah, the but part is, you're right. Like that is still, they're not out of the woods here. The Ripple company is clearly in violation of Section 5 of the Securities Act. So
Yamster has $1,000 tied into XRP. Okay, so for Yamster's sake, I hope it moons by the time you can unlock it. How long does it take to unlock it? If I were you, I'd be trying to unlock it and sell it ASAP.
I mean, I think you're up like 70% today on Ripple, right? Let's take a look at XRP. That shit was.
It might be like a lock stake situation though, where it's like locked for months or whatever. I don't really know how Ripple works. I've stayed away from it because Max was basically like, "This coin is nonsense."
72%. Yeah, I was so close when I was like, it's up like 70%. Look at this. Damn, it's back to like bull market, like median. Like definitely gonna find a lot of resistance here. I'd be surprised if it's gonna push a lot higher than this without the actual.
Because $1,000 before today, that's like probably close to 1,700 today, right?
We're looking at the weekly chart. Like there is not a lot. See, this green line is where the current spot price is. everything below that green line, if you had bought your Ripple at any point below this green line, you'd be at a loss. So you're very likely sitting in profit unless you bought in one of these peaks that came above that green.
Yamster saying he
Which
can't
is
touch
also
it because
possible.
it's on a DEX that won't let US folks access it due to the SEC. Would a VPN help you with that?
VPN, dude, you
If it's a
definitely, yeah.
DEX,
If
I
you're
feel like you can
using,
get into it. If it's a
if
CEX,
it's
you're
a
kind of
Dex, you
shit
can
out of
do it
luck.
today.
But
Yeah, a Dex, you can just run your VPN like Clearwire. There's open source, open VPN one. Like just download it and type in the credentials, and
should
then
also
change your
he
location to
said it's a
somewhere else.
CEX, but I feel like this is the perfect time to say not
CEX,
financial advice when we're telling people how to
absolutely.
pass crypto
Yeah.
regulations. Do it at your own risk. You're not supposed to do that, but technically there are ways around DEXs. But he said CEX, so that's not going to work. Calculator has a
CEX,
question.
nice.
This is also, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it publicly, but I shared your tokenomics thing with Max without saying too much about it, but it's the thing I DM'd you earlier. It's not public information, so I don't know if he wants us sharing the idea, but I believe this is in relation to that. He said, so if I launch and sell a token via exchange order book, SEC shouldn't have a problem with classifying it as an investment contract. Just want to make sure.
No,
Because he's
no,
worried if he
exactly.
launches his stuff as a ICO, so he's going to run into issues. So he's trying to figure out how to fairly distribute his token without doing a just straight up ICO.
Yes, that is definitely the more gray part of all of this. Isn't like a blanket go ahead to all crypto assets. This is more a like, no, not everything by default is a security, but when you do things in a, in a fashion of a security, like doing an ICO is definitely, step one to getting onto some type of radar of like, let's look further into this project and see if it is or is not going to qualify for the next level down. So it's like, uh it's hard to say specifically on like, oh, what can you do with a token, because it really will depend on like that token's value proposition. And if you wanted, we did this a little while ago, but there is like a very like a guideline, I guess, test that the SEC referenced about specifically about crypto assets, and if they would or would not qualify as securities. And it was called the what is the name? I guess I can just
I guess
type
just in
in.
a more general sense, how would you recommend distributing a token? Like, because I was telling him if you just distribute it through gameplay, it's just going to dump the token. Like, you can't just have people minting a token backed by a value asset without them draining the value out of the assets that back the token. So, like, the Howey test is what it is.
Howey test. That was it. Howey
But
test.
do you
So
have
yeah, if
like
you
a
look up,
general recommendation for how would you distribute a token if you're trying to not have it be classified as a security and you didn't just want to give it to people for free because they would drain value out of the ecosystem?
so I really like what like something like Cap did. Cap on Arbitrum, what they did to distribute their token was they wanted to release their token at like $1 per unit, and they put like they pre-minted the entire supply and then put it with the counterpart liquidity into Uniswap at $1. Like the developers put up the counterpart, and if they had 1 million tokens, for example, they put up 1 million tokens and $1 million into Uniswap, and then anyone who wanted to buy the token could go into the liquidity pool and buy the token from the open market, basically. That I thought was like, damn, that's a pretty fucking straightforward way to sell a token. Not like they have no way to influence the price because 100% of the supply is in the Uniswap pool. So then the value of it is literally 100% of its market cap is in its liquidity. And that's kind of not how most tokens work. But beyond that, of course, they also have like staking and all this other stuff. So people would bought the token and think the value of it right now is like $100, and I think it started at like 10 or something. But that's not necessarily the way you'd want to distribute a token if it is also then pegged to or backed by something, or having like a counterpart built into its asset. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But the Howey test is a good place to start to see if a token that you're launching would be a security.
Thank you for the
You wanted
follow,
to.
Odin Pops. It is weird the
Oh,
follower thing works on your screen, but the soundboard doesn't. Also, the sound doesn't work, which is also strange.
it doesn't. That's weird. I heard the sound on my end.
Maybe you're not using the voice meter for your sound.
I'll have to check it out. Damn, that was crazy though to see the chart for XRP.
Odin Pops might be from
Oh,
the Sune community. If you are, we will be giving away some Sune stuff at some point, but right now we're going over the more technical talk. We were talking about XRP. There's a ruling with that just happened, which made XRP pump, which is making really the whole crypto market pump. So covering that, and then
yeah.
later we'll get to more NFT and fun video stuff.
Yeah. So let's take a look really quick at the sticking to the crypto market. The crypto market is still it's still looking like it is gaining momentum and moving upward after bouncing off of our SR flip here, like the support resistance flip right here on the strength band, which is kind of what I was looking for, and looks like now we've seen. And let's take a look at the daily on the so in the coming months or so, I would expect maybe we can see the crypto market either continue, as long as we continuing above 15 or 1700 or so for Ethereum. I feel like as long as we're moving up on that trajectory, I'm expecting at least like a slow, steady pace move forward, if not potentially a boost here back into bull territory and a run up. Although personally, I do think it's a little early. I think we have like 8 to 12 months left before like you really start seeing like that steep run up that would constitute a bull market. But it's possible we don't see these prices again. It's also possible we absolutely do, and the reason for that is that there's quite a few major sell events on the horizon still for these for crypto. There's still, I think, like 40,000 Bitcoin in the government auction house for Silk Road from the Silk Road seizures back in the day. The Mount Gox collapse from back in 2013. Those Bitcoins are currently stewarded by like a hedge fund manager who is on a schedule to repay those coins to the people who they belong to. So that is another like multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin sell event, I would say. And then third, there's one more big one. Oh, right now it's looming on the horizon. I'm actually personally affected by this one, so I do kind of see the immediacy kind of this too. So there is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. If you have heard of that, they are the issuing authority behind GBTC, which trades on the NASDAQ, which we can also look up really quick here. GBTC. So GBTC, it's not a crypto, so yeah, it's not coming up. If I go to stocks, it is a stock. Here, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. It's not a stock, it's a trust. But what this is like you can use this with like a 401k or any other investment like structured portfolio that lets you access easily broker accessed stuff like a trust like this. You can buy into Bitcoin, and then this is just backed by Bitcoin. The Grayscale company is the company also behind Genesis, and the Genesis collapse and bankruptcy that left the partners all insolvent. So my affection to this would be like I participate in Gemini has like an earn program, and the balance in my earn balance there I can't withdraw or get access to because they delegated that portion out to I just said them not Grayscale, but they are Genesis. Genesis was managing that, and they went belly up. And so Gemini is owed, like hundreds of millions of dollars of their own client funds, and they're suing Grayscale and the CEO, the owner of this trust, for that money. And so it is looking pretty likely that this person's going to have to sell, a good chunk of this Bitcoin trust, which I think is worth like $4 billion. So I mean, I'm sure I'll get my money back too eventually. It's probably going to take another 2 years or something, but in the more immediate short term, it's very realistic that like there is a court order for retribution or restitution, and that restitution would require the owner of the GBTC trust to liquidate probably billions of dollars in Bitcoin. And so if that happened, I would imagine the Bitcoin market can't just absorb that type of sale. And so there are these, I would say those three are like big kind of black swan events looming over the crypto market still. And I think that loom is going to keep us from, seeing an aggressive pump, a climb like this. I feel like we are going to be kind of like maybe flatlining, and then one of these events or two, or I would say maybe the fourth one that's kind of possible also is the collapse of Binance. If Binance collapses, because Binance looks like they are relatively insolvent, when you deep dive their like the tokens they have issued on their blockchain versus what they have in mainnet wallets that are verifiably owned by Binance, there's billions of dollars of a gap there. And if that comes to a head, meaning like if people are trying to withdraw their assets from Binance Smart Chain, for example, if you have wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped Ethereum on BSC in your MetaMask wallet, for example, it is possible that the counterpart of that asset, like that Ethereum that actually lives on Ethereum mainnet, they don't actually have that, and the ETH wrapped asset on Binance Smart Chain is potentially not pegged, but that hasn't lost peg yet. I just think that event is potentially also in the stars because Binance is facing quite a few like troubles of their own. And it does look like they were engaging in very similar stuff to what FTX was doing and kind of like what everybody was doing. It's just that they had more money and were able to kick the can down the road longer. Eventually these bills do come due. And so I'd say there you go. You got 4 potential black swan events: the collapse of Binance, the repayment of the Mount Gox bitcoins to the people who lost their Bitcoin from that, the potential of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, the GBTC, needing to liquidate their assets to pay back Gemini and other debtors or creditors who they owe. And I forget now what the very first one is that I mentioned. But there was a first one, and you can probably rewind it and figure out what 4 events. So I do think that there are things looming over crypto that could keep us down and could create events where we do see aggressive sell-offs. I do think that when such an event happens, my intention is to buy. I believe that we are seeing, like looking right now at the weekly chart, we are seeing a very clear flipping in the longer term trend here, a very clear bounce. I'm feeling, I've always been very bullish on crypto anyway, but I am starting to see the charts also looking bullish again. And so when you do get, or when we do eventually get a potential event like this that drives these prices down, I imagine that the recovery from such an event will also be very, very quick. This market moves insanely fast, and there's a lot of money on the sidelines looking for a buying opportunity. And a lot of that money cannot participate in this market until an ETF or something similar to like the Grayscale Trust or something becomes more viable, which is how that trust ended up with $4 billion worth of Bitcoin in the first place. So when the SEC does finally approve, BlackRock is working on an ETF for Bitcoin. When one of these things gets through, that opens the floodgates, so to speak, for a lot of sideline money that is interested, but like legally incapable of accessing this market. So when this, investment instrument becomes legitimized, like the ETF, then that money can be onboarded. And so there is a lot of money waiting to onboard, and obviously a lot more money waiting for these opportunities to buy in lower. And like I said, if we do get one of these big black swan events, I do think the worst of the bear market is over, and the big black swan events could push us to lower lows. But again, I don't believe we'll be seeing like this, like a full year of just sideways action on the floor. Next time we hit a floor like this, I believe we'll be bouncing versus flatlining on that floor. So again, I think I guess that's a long ass way to say I think buy the dip is a viable strategy again, and it hasn't been for a long time. So all of that, I would say we're kind of becoming more bullish here on crypto.
Calculator says, by the way, I saw CoffeeZilla is launching a big investigation on Binance, so that black swan event might happen.
Exactly.
I've
No,
also
those
got
are
our
like
not financial advice
realistic.
banner going at the bottom of the screen. I feel like this is the most appropriate time to have it. But as always, we're not trying to tell you how to spend your money, just telling you our opinions on the market and what we might do with our money, but don't listen to strangers on the internet on how to spend your money unless you want to lose your money.
Yeah. I also don't have a fiduciary license, so I don't have a responsibility to make you money. I could just be in it for myself and tell you whatever the fuck makes me the most money.
We're
Be
Logan
aware of that.
Pauling y'all. Dink doink, baby.
Dink doink, my favorite coin.
Dink doink is my favorite coin.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely keep your wits about you. The space is full of sleazeballs. But yeah, so let's take a look really quick at Wax now. So Wax, we're looking on the daily chart on Wax. We did get our bull flip here, and now the color is also changed. So our strength band is flipping. The market trend on the daily is changing, it looks like. Again, we got the bounce, the all important bounce that I want to see after a like breakout in price, and you do see that happening here. Price is moving up for pretty consistently, like a whole week is just moving up, up, up. And when it does finally run out of that steam and pull back, it finds support right on our band here, which is basically right on the previous resistance line again. And so you want to turn this into support. You want to see a bounce right on these line, on this line, which would probably line up, if you don't have this indicator, that maybe would line up with like the Bollinger Band's middle line. So if you do want to just use a free indicator, it is BB. Will help you with that potentially. Yeah. So you can see here the orange line here in the middle. If I turn off my indicator really quick, just to, there you go. That really gives us that line where we want to be bouncing. And look at how cleanly we're bouncing with Wax right now on the middle Bollinger Band line. So yeah, that's a nice way to kind of visualize that. So this is a bullish kind of like indicator on the daily. Also, look at the on balance volume, clearly making higher highs again, higher lows as well. Not many lows really, but look at this climb that's happening, and it's happening like while the price is more or less flat over these days. Kind of an accumulation thing. It looks very bullish for Wax. Let's go a little bit out on the weekly again. I think
people in the Wax chat are talking about how Wax is not following like the pump news of like the rest of the market.
No, it kind of isn't really. It moves kind of on its own in a way. I do think Ethereum is going to help it come up quite a bit, but that's also because a lot of its liquidity is paired with Ethereum. So if Ethereum sees a big run, I think Wax has a decent chance to run a little bit. The other side of it, though, is that there is a lot of sell pressure that comes from like block producers being paid in Wax while Wax is so cheap. And if there is going to be a breakout in the market, then there is like a short term like where it would make sense for block producers to kind of aggressively sell to keep the price cheap, to keep earning huge amounts of Wax. Before like stopping that action and letting the price run like crazy and having filled their bags before everybody else. That's basically what the mining racket usually is. So I imagine block producers would probably do something similar, even if they're not all in cahoots. They're all in it to make money, and that is the best way to make money. So they may all come up with that idea on their own. It doesn't have to be a conspiracy. But it is starting to look pretty nice here for Wax. We still haven't seen the weekly flip. The band color
could
here,
also
but we are still bouncing
track
above
that
it.
though. Like that doesn't need to be speculation. You can see the blockchain producers' wallets they vote on the IG election, so you could go trace those wallets and see what they're doing.
Yeah,
I feel like that's better than speculating about it.
That's true. You should if you have like conspiracy worries, you should definitely start scouring the blockchain for that. I don't necessarily think it's especially after talking to a bunch of the block producers, it doesn't seem like it's a big insiders collusion club, although they do, I'm sure they all know each other, and I'm sure it's not that impossible to coordinate with 21 different people when the common goal is to everybody makes money. But yeah, I don't know.
I also think they largely sell their rewards anyway, though. Like I don't think they're bag holding rewards.
They also have a lot of expenses. Yeah, to cover all that stuff, you do need to sell quite a bit. It's a business, and a lot of it is like when I know a few people who run really big Bitcoin mines. They don't own any Bitcoin. What they own is a Bitcoin mine. That is how they make their money. Like they don't even pay attention to the price of Bitcoin or anything. They literally run a Bitcoin mine the most efficient way it can, and they make their money by selling the Bitcoin just consistently.
That's also
So
not to say
yeah,
it isn't possible that they have been accumulating while wax is low just to wait for a pump to
for
dump
sure.
it. That could also be
I
happening.
I
I don't have
would
the
I would do
answer.
something like that. So that's like part of that is like that conspiracy brain where it's like this is what I would do if I had, the access, and I feel like people let their
I
imaginations
know,
run
like,
wild. I don't
someone
know.
like Mike especially. Mike is renting everything for his
Yeah,
like, all
you
the
got to
servers
pay
he's
those
renting, like, he
bills
needs to
every
sell the
week.
wax that he gets paid on standby to cover the cost of renting that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So it depends on, like, how much overhead the blockchain producers have and how much in the red they are, but I would say in general, the reason wax is probably not pumping as much is because of that, though, because they have to sell a metric shit ton of wax when the price is low, so there's a ton of sell pressure, and it's hard to offset that sell pressure. The lower the price gets, the more there's sell pressure.
The higher the price gets, it'll be interesting to see like the BPs not being paid as much, and then actually the inflation rate on wax going down like aggressively. Like if wax were $1, a BP that currently makes 50,000 wax would get like 500 or something, like way less. And that wax, the rest of that wax, like the difference, the 45,000 or whatever that they're not getting, just isn't circulated. So that's like value for everybody else in the network who holds wax. But
I'm also
it'll be
not
interesting
sure
to
if
see
they
how
just
this
mint
plays
that
out.
wax into circulation as much as it's taken out of the, like, treasury funds and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm also not 100% sure, but
Calcul
I thought it was like that's
Calculator in the
how
chat
like
here has been tracking, like, all the WAA accounts, which is, like, a lot of the, like, wax accounts. It's also super hard to
yeah,
track because they do it from, like, 25 different wallets, and they're like, "Oh, that's for security purposes," but it makes it very hard to track, like, what money's
yeah.
coming from where, but I think they get something like 48% of all of the wax that's staked is staked by the wax team. So like they're just getting that 7%, and then that 7% is getting paid out to the blockchain producers. But like most of the staked wax is held by
Ah.
the wax team. So they're just printing wax and then spending it on stuff like blockchain producers and then also pumping profile picture floors.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. I did think it was like the wax that blockchain producers make is like wax that is newly circulated, which I guess that is true of wax that is earned as a reward for staking. So
Yeah, I don't think they're
that's
just
an
minting
interesting
it
way
out
to
of
kind of
thin
cap
air.
it
Like
though.
I do think
Yeah.
there's a point where they could have to pay them more than they're getting in their staking rewards, and it could really fuck up the system. But I don't think we're even close
Yeah.
to that yet. As far as like they're making a ton of
That's
wax,
true.
and
They can keep this going for like years and years.
but it actually is much more sustainable now to see wax pump for the reasons you said. Like if wax gets worth more, it's not going to just create like the same amount of sell pressure on wax, which could be good, but they just need to figure out a way to get the market cap up and the price up, and then it'll be less.
Yeah.
Like the lower the price is, the more deflationary it is, or the more sell pressure there is.
Yeah, and the
Yes,
price does look kind of favorable. It wants to kind of break up, it looks like, on the chart. More and more it's starting to look like anyway. And if we do break up, it can break up pretty aggressively back to like, what is this like? Okay, not crazy yet. Oh, that's like 7 cents still. Okay.
oh, shit, I forgot to get my pixie gun. You can get those like pixie gun orbs for holding stuff. I'm gonna go claim one of those. Good
Oh, where do
reminder,
you do
Princess
that?
Phoenix. There's an announcement in the pixie gun server. You have to get these drop of imagination orb, but I believe you can get the drop of imagination orb just for holding any of the cartridges from the games. Let me check if I can claim one.
Okay, I must have some.
No drop for me. I
I'll
guess I'm
do
not
that.
whitelisted.
Damn. All right, but yeah, wax
Yeah,
looks like it wants to break up a little bit here.
you must hold at
I'm
least two
gonna.
cartridges. I only hold one. That's why.
I have two. I might have.
I have one, and then I have
Go
the
check it
tester
out.
cartridge, but I guess the tester cartridge doesn't count.
Oh yeah, I bought both of them, and then I also have like a sealed legendary one. I think.
I just have Pixiel. I'm honestly much more interested in Pixiel than I am the Kuma's fruit
Yeah, that
fields.
one is really fun.
It's just a lot of learning to be able to play it. I'm also a huge fan of platformers, so I'd actually be more inclined to buy a second Pixiel than I would be to buy a Kuma's.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's take a look at wax here. Does it like so for the week? What we want to do with our DeFi move, right? We are starting to flip bullish. We're starting to like climb on balance volume. We're running out a little bit of room here on the RSI, so we might want to consider a strategy that has room back down to kind of this middle band. So back down to like 4, let's say 4.5, or we'll come here to where like these days all kind of flatlined. So let's say like 4.8 cents will be kind of like the bottom of our range for this week. And then the top of our range, we can give it more room. And let's say like, if we're trying to keep it tight for a week or so, like 7 or 8 cents has like been our long-term resistance level here, this red line that we drew like ages ago at this point. I'd say this is still like true, that this is still the top of our range. And then, yeah, this orange line is probably like a decent resistance level. We'll probably push to here, slow down, and then maybe push higher if we're going to push higher, or, you know, eventually get rejected and push back down. So then I'd say let's just trade this line for the next week if we're going to do some yield farming with our 100 wax. So that would be the lower part of this was 4.8 cents, and then this line up here is at 5.8. So 4.8 to 5.8 is about what I'm looking at for this week. And let's see how we did with last week's liquidity. I'm going to start by checking out on Alcor. We've set some ranges, and I'm pretty sure we nailed it. So let's start with the big one here. It's going to be TLM. So TLM, we had a range set. It's a relatively large range. It's definitely still within that range, pretty much square in the center of it now. And you can see we made 10 cents in yield already. So about 2 wax in yield from a position that is, what is this? Like not that much. This is 20. I don't know. This is like, what? Let me, I guess I can check how much this is in wax. This is $2.14. So in wax, we'll say 214, 41 wax. So we made 2 wax on 41 wax in about a week. That's about 0.5% in a week. That's like 2% a month. That's pretty freaking solid. I'm pretty happy with that type of performance. And I like the range that we're currently in for this still. So I probably will leave this one alone. The main thing to do here will be to claim the fees, since they're just sitting there. They're not participating in liquidity supplying right now. So I do want to claim those. And
Eric
since
said,
I'm happy
sorry
with that
stepped away, what are we pulling?
right now, I'm just claiming our TLM wax fees, and I'm just going to compound those into the same pool. So all I've done so far was claim these fees. I'm going to say increase liquidity and supply them back. And I am adding, I guess, 1 wax, since I've only claimed about 1 wax in rewards. So I had 1 more wax in the wallet from last week, still just chilling. So I'm just compounding into our TLM wax range. I'm also, I think I'm like 18% of this pool in my own wallet. And this pool really fucks. I do my ranges a little tighter because I check them every day. Oh, failed price slippage check. So if you've ever gotten this error message up here that I'm getting, failed, normally you can just refresh and try again. So I'm going to try that first. But if that persists, and I know this will probably work because this is TLM and wax, so I probably won't have to mess with this again. But if this wasn't a liquidity pool like TLM and wax, and the pool did actually have really shallow liquidity, and there was going to be some price slippage problems, see, that time it worked perfectly. What you can do is there is a settings up here, and then here is the slippage tolerance. By default, it's set to auto, I think. But if you are having this error over and over again, you can set your slippage tolerance to like 1, which would be 1% of your position could be eaten in slippage when you first open the contract, like open the liquidity pool. But, you know, increasing the threshold for slippage here would solve that error if you keep running into that error. And again, that was right here on this little settings button. So I just compounded our earnings from the week into this pool. I'm just let this ride. And then let's take a look at how our stablecoin pools did. You can see here we are in range on 2 out of the 3, and the third one that's out of range, I think this is like our this is like our huge catch the giant spike if wax pumps incredibly hard pool. And so this one hasn't actually hit range at all. You can see we've made nothing from this, but we still have all of our wax. There's really no downside for me if I'm just going to hold the wax, there's no downside for me to hold the wax like this. Because if we do get a sudden spike and it drops way back down, it's like, cool, I'll come back. All my wax will still be here, and I'll have some fees from supplying liquidity to the price spike. I'm going to leave that one alone. But let's take a look at our in-range liquidity. We are pretty much in the center of our range right now. And last we were looking at our price between 4.8 and 5.8 as our liquidity range. Here we're at 4.5 and like 5.5. So that's relatively, I mean, that 4.5 and 5.5, that's within my 4.8, 5.8 range, I guess 0.003 out of range on the bottom end. But this is close enough to the range that I was looking at for this week that I'm going to leave this one alone as well. So this one, let's see how this one has performed. And if it is the best idea to keep this and let this run, or if we want to move this maybe to like Taco and farm something else, which let's actually check how our Taco pools are doing as well. Go swap liquidity. Here we go. On Taco, we are Wombat Wax and CMW Wax. So it does look like the Wombat Wax pool. We did pull some of the liquidity last week because we were concerned that Wombat token in terms of wax would fall, because we saw the price of Wombat token fall on the other chains where Wombat trades. So let's take a look if that actually played out over the past 7 days, if we made the right call there. I'm curious. We got Wombat and Wax. And then, so in the last week, it did, this is in terms of wax, I'd have to swap it like this. But it looks like in terms of wax over the last 7 days, it's been relatively flat. It's down 1.7%. So we did outperform just holding the Wombat for sure. But the Wombat pool also pays decent yield. I feel like 1.76% volatility is kind of fine for the rate we pay. So not too bad. Let's take a look at like the month and see if the run up on this token had like chilled out a bit. So it did. It's a little further than a month ago. So I'm going to go to see this chart better. I'm going to go to Wax on Edge. No. Here we go. Wax on Edge. And then I'm going to go to swap now. And then here I'm going to choose that same liquidity pool pair. And it's going to create for me a nice trading view chart that I can get a much better impression of once it loads. So let me wait for that. Well, maybe not. Maybe not today. It's not letting me today. Well, in a
Wasn't
second.
it working for you earlier? Oh, that was you're talking about the tool he built for us, right?
Yeah, that was the tool. It was getting a little, it was definitely a little slow earlier. I'm going to refresh really quick and see if it'll.
Don't you usually check the markets anyway?
Yeah, it just got stuck. Here we go. Wombat. Just curious how the Wombat Wax kind of chart is going to look here, since we did have a big long run up. And then, yeah, so we pulled after like the big run up. We kind of saw it was selling off on another chain. So we pulled, and it has since kind of cooled off, it looks like. It looks like it's actually kind of finding a support around here. We can add some indicators to this chart too on Wax on Edge here, like the Bollinger Bands and the OBV. OBV. And the SRSI. And there we go. So here we can see kind of like, let's take a look at the on balance volume, for example. This is the last time the price was around the same in terms of wax. And our on balance volume here was around here. Current price is right here. But you can see our on balance volume is actually lower than here's where last time. So right now I'm looking at like this dotted line that's emanating from the edge of my chart. And I'm going to line that up with kind of where these things hit, right, which is right here. And then I want to have kind of the end of my chart and this area
Thank you
in
for
view.
The raid, NFT Gamer
What's
TV with
going
49
on?
viewers. We appreciate it. We're checking out the wax charts right now. We were looking at XRP is pumping because of the SEC decision. So we're trying to decide what to do with our wax investments that we do on stream. And in a little bit, we're going to do some giveaways of some Sune artwork. So stay tuned for some grubfish.
Oh yeah. All
Also,
right.
I think you all had
So the
Kafer
main.
on. So shout out to Kafer, one of the
Oh,
running
nice.
OIGs.
Yeah, Kafer's great. That was a fun.
Yeah, we had
Fun
Kafer
chat we had the
on
other
what
day.
was that, Friday? It was a blast talking to him. So I hope you all had some good information shared over there. I feel like Kafer is one of the most knowledgeable people, just period, on wax and the history of wax and how wax works. So he's a great resource and a great person to talk to. And thank you for the gift subs. We really appreciate them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Keeps
We
our
gotta get
lights
Max's sound fixed so it can ruin our audio.
on. Here we go. So it's almost like we're around the same area. It feels like we are actually a little bit higher here, like when the price was last at this range in the on balance volume than we currently are. So it is like almost like the on balance volume is making a lower close right now compared to what it was doing last time, like on the way up, which could indicate that the price trend is going to continue to move down. Right now I'm on the 4-hour chart. I'm going to the daily really quick here. So now each candle is going to be 24 hours instead of 4 hours. Let me see that load. Okay, here we go. We're going to get a little bit cleaner of a picture in there. And with our indicators
for
that
the
you can just...
new Raiders, just in case you don't know, this is Wax on Edge. This is an app or a DApp on Wax built by Wapaka, and it will show you the best way to route your trade. So it looks at Alcor, DeFi Box, and Taco, and it'll split your trades between the three if it's better to like trade certain liquidity through one than the other. And it's a really cool tool. So if y'all aren't familiar,
it'll do one better than that too. If you click on the markets tab, you can split your orders between market and pool. So check this out, right? You guys are coming from NFTV. So I can find like all. I want to see. Does NFTV have a market on Alcor?
they might be swap only. I don't know if they have a market.
I guess they don't. Damn, that's too bad.
Yeah, you can also look through the markets. So if you're trying to do like TLM would be a better example. It'll show you TLM through the markets and then also through the swap. And it'll split like, okay, sell half of it through the swap, half of it through the market, just to give you the best slippage on the trade, which is
like here's Wombat,
really nice.
For example. Since
that's a lot
we were just looking at Wombat. And then so you know how Wombat, you could trade here on the spot market where there's orders waiting to buy and sell and stuff. So what you can do with this tool, which I think is so fucking cool, is select market over here, and you can see here best price, and then it says market and pools. So if you're gonna do like a let's say I'm gonna sell, or let's say I'm gonna buy like 1,000 wax worth of Wombat token, I can say buy, and then it'll compute the route for this trade. And so you'll see here in a second what it finds. But it'll basically show me, should I trade on DeFi Box, should I trade on Taco Swap, should I trade on Alcor Swap or Alcor Spot Market. And man, every time I want to, like, just because I want to show it, I feel like it's going slow. It usually is very, very fast for me. I don't know, today it's just being finicky. But I mean, I guess you get what I'm saying. You can come to the market tab and you can come down here, toggle to market, and then select market and pools, and it'll not only tell you which one's a better deal, but it'll create the transaction for you. And if it is a better deal for you to do 40% of your trade through a spot order that's currently there and the rest of it through the swap, it will do both of those things in one transaction. And it'll tell you that that's what it's doing. So it's really cool. I kind of wish it would pop up for me.
That's something we used to have to do manually. Like, I don't know if anybody else does, but I will go to Taco. I have 3 tabs open: DeFi Box, Taco, and Alcor. I'll just type in the same trade in all 3 and see what's the best. This basically just does it for you manually, and then you can also look at the market. So it's like it saves you a lot of time of like manually trying to do the math of the best way to route your trades, especially if you're trying to do something like sell like 40,000 TLM, because then it likely will be better to split it through multiple markets and multiple swaps than it is to just dump it all through one. So we really like the Wax on Edge tool. I think you're still waiting to update it to the V2 liquidity on Alcor, though, right?
Yeah, the V2 liquidity pools are still not included in those routes. But for example, if I did Wombat right now, if I did like an absurd amount of Wombat, you can see that it is splitting this. Part of it is going through the Wombat wax pool, like most of it is, but it's a better deal to not do everything through that pool. It's instead splitting it off and doing the rest of it through the Wombat star and then star into wax. And all of this is happening in one transaction. And the same goes for like any token. And then with this tool, you can also do like trade NFTV token into Neon token directly, because even if there is no liquidity pool between them. So really quick, let me finish looking at the chart and I'll show that really quick what I'm talking about here. But look at this. So we are closing, the days are below the Bollinger Band. So we're on like the downtrend again. On balance volume, I would say kind of from here we hit like a resistance level and have been flatlining for the last week or so. But during that flatline time, it looks like our on balance volume is still selling off. So this is showing me kind of maybe we're not accumulating yet. We're not trying to build and break up. We might probably continue flatlining until the middle B band line catches up to us, and then we'll probably get pushed down further by that middle line. So I'm not 100% sure I want to take our wax and put it into the wax Wombat pool further than we already have. I don't want to pull our liquidity either. I do really like this pool, and it pays a pretty solid dividend, which I should collect. I come up here to account and rewards, and you can see I've earned 34 a Wombat and another 9 CMW. The CMW token I'm also continuing to farm as long as its rewards stay above like 90 or so APR. So let me take a look, 90 or so percent. So let me take a look at those rewards at the moment. If I go to meal and staked, way above 172% for this token in farming yield. That I'm pretty okay with. So if I come back to liquidity, where are we at with this? 23. I think we started with 25, so we were at 50, but let's take a look at what we can actually earn here for selling the CMW. This is another great opportunity to jump over to Wax on Edge, because CMW does trade on DeFi Box and CMW, and it trades on DeFi Box and Taco, kind of with relatively comparable liquidity in both pools. So doing this on DeFi Box or on Wax on Edge is actually going to look at that. It's actually going to do CMW into Battle Miner token into Wax on Taco, CMW into that. Look, so it's going between 4 separate pools and 2 different exchanges all in one transaction. And for this type of routing, I am actually paying the platform DeFi for Wax on Edge. I'm paying them 0.3%. So for my 9.18, I'm going to get 1.315, right? So take a look. If I had just stuck over here and if I just did the trade directly on Taco Swap where I earned these rewards, let's take a look at how that compares to what Wax on Edge is getting me. CMW. So all my CMW here, 1.299. What was I getting on Wax on Edge? 1.315. So you can see I'm getting, 0.02 something more wax than I would if I did the exact same swap directly on Taco Swap. And the same is going to be true if I go over to DeFi Box and just try to swap directly on DeFi Box. So Wax on Edge is not, this 0.03. I don't mind paying that at all because it is doing all this for me and telling me the best route. Plus 0.3% is very reasonable, I feel like, for sourcing such a route for me.
I'm going to interrupt this real quick. We got a bit of a hype train going. I want to do a giveaway since we TD gifted so many subs to our followers.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you.
We should gift them some NFTs. So I'm going to get a grubfish going here. Let's see. We said we would give away a Priscilla, Valor, and Vellum sent us some Sune stuff. So let's see. Let's check out our giveaway wallet and see what we're giving away. Just give.neon. Also, today was the first ever Thursday drop for Funko, which is new. Okay, so we can give away some of these San Diego 2023 promo packs. I believe there's a blend that's happening for these. So we're trying to give them away sooner than later so you can participate in the blends. but we'll give away one of these San Diego 2023 promo packs. And I think the San Diego Comic-Con is next week, so the blend will probably be around then. Exclamation point neon is the command. Sorry, I didn't show that off. Not exclamation point play. And this will be in the background. I want to play some Dink Doink just for fun because it's a fun hype song. Not financial advice, of course. So you got a minute and 20 to hit exclamation point neon.
Oh, I don't hear this. I don't hear the audio.
But you don't hear it?
No. I was
Give me
trying
a
to
second.
jam
Give me a
to it.
second. Check.
Well, I
Weird.
hear you. Fine.
You should be able to hear this. My mic is my voice meter output. So you can't hear Dink Doink?
No, I couldn't. Maybe I'm just nuts. Hold on.
Can the audience hear this?
Am I the only one who can't hear it? Or yeah, I don't hear it.
Should I try to leave and come back? Because it says my audio is working.
Yeah, and Prince X says no sound. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's not just me. Let's go. It's not necessarily a good thing, but
Well, give me a second. Oh, it is not. Oh, this is why. I found the problem. User error. We're rewinding. Y'all will get your Dink Doink. Don't worry. I had my volume set of speakers instead of voice meter. So exclamation point neon if you'd like to join, and you have until Dink Doink ends. Also, this is a scam coin. This is a joke. Do not buy Dink Doink.
Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Want you to dink on my face, take a doink on my chest. Yeah. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Why don't you come on over? Take pictures of my feet. Yeah. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Why don't you take my little sister to the prom? Don't doink her, please. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. You're my favorite coin. You're my favorite coin. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. My girlfriend says thank you for all the new girlfriends. Yeah, dink doink at an all-time high. Well, it's really high when you keep getting higher. Yeah, dink doink, you're my favorite coin. You turn my wallet into a penthouse. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. We're going to the moon, yeah. We're going to the moon, yeah. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Want you to dink on my face and take a doink on my chest, yeah. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Why don't you?
That song is way too good for what it is. That song legitimately slaps. Dink doink, you're my favorite.
that song is how you get $100 million market cap.
Okay, now our soundboard's working. Yeah, that was a pump from Logan Paul, who I feel like he said he was like not involved in it, and then people found out like he was on the team and held a shit ton of it, and he was basically just pumping his own bags. Classic influencer stuff. I can find the Dink Doink chart though. I'm pretty sure it's real bad. Dink Doink chart.
Yeah, I wonder if it's still worth anything.
Dink Doink. Let's go to Coin Market Cap. Coin Market.
Watch this one come back with the next bull market.
Yeah, watch this be higher than Wax. Market track on. Maybe it's on CoinGecko. Dink Doink CoinGecko. Says it's on Coinbase. Nope. I swear we found charts for this before.
Yeah, I thought so.
Coin Market.
Where does that one trade? Is it like a Binance token or?
We can look in tokeninsight.com. I've never even heard of this website. It is worth 0.000000000013. It's not available number ranking. That's how low it is.
Damn. It didn't go well.
Let's see the all-time
just
chart.
flatlined.
See, this is where people
Oh,
bought in because of the song. This is where we are now. You can't really get much of a steeper friggin' dump.
damn.
So yeah, don't buy Dink Doink.
That song,
It's still going down too. It's not going back up. Oops, we don't want to look at that. All right, last call, exclamation point neon. If you want to get into the Sune giveaway. Thanks for joining us,
I would not
everybody.
be surprised to see like some stupid shit like that pump. I don't think specifically Dink Doink, but like a bull market makes a bunch of stuff pump.
And yeah, you can add your wallets now. I've been live sending the people the prizes. We used to do marbles, and marbles has no way to incorporate people's wallets into it. So we used to have to collect people's wallets separately, but now I just send them live, so it's actually not that big of a deal. I'm going to a Solana event next week. Not familiar with anything over there. Will it be worth my time? I've played a few games that are pretty decent on Solana, but I'm also not super involved in the Solana ecosystem, to be honest, so I don't really have the insight over there. I think it's a kind of like centralized chain. The other thing I always hear about Solana is the entire chain goes down. Like every 2 or 3 months, it's just like you can't push transactions and the chain breaks. That's like normally why I hear of Solana, but
yeah. It's kind of a centralized mess, but there's a lot of VC funding behind it. So good product.
I played
cool game.
A fun game is like a battleship game, like the board game Battleship, where you have to guess where people are and you can't see their side of the screen. You're trying to sink their boats, and it's actually like one of the more fun crypto games I've played. But I don't know.
Yeah, there's a good amount of like VC money that went into like development for Solana projects, so you'll probably have a good time. There's some pretty cool projects on Solana. I'm just not the biggest fan of like the tech.
Is this Edward, or do you just have a similar logo? I feel like Edward used to use this profile picture. Oh, it is. What's going on, Edward? BOC is going as low as 52K.
Damn, dude. That's cheap for Bored Up Yacht Club.
I honestly think, I don't know, this is, of course, not financial advice in my unsolicited opinion, but I honestly think the more products that they release, the less their stuff becomes worth, because people see like how much money they have and they just keep releasing like very mediocre games and like buggy games and crappy projects. Like it's like this is what a multi-billion-dollar company is able to like produce. So I sort of feel like they do better if they just do nothing. Like they should take the Alien Worlds approach and just like do nothing, because every single time they release something, it just actually devalues. Which is kind of the funny thing about Alien Worlds. Like a lot of wax games lose value after they release like the actual game, because people are like, oh, I don't want to play this. And I was hoping on the hope that they would release something good. And the hope and the speculation is actually worth more than the product they release. So I sort of feel like Yuga has the same problem where like the speculation is always worth more than the thing they actually end up.
For sure. I mean, even at $50,000, like, damn, do you really think they can build that kind of value into utility for a ape NFT? That's an assload of money. You know how many
I don't know you played Fortnite, Edward. That's cool.
You can buy like 20 ETH for that.
It's also my my unsolicited promotion for BattleBit. If anyone wants to play BattleBit, been loving the shit out of that game. It's a Web 2 game, not Web 3, but it's like a 127 versus 127 kind of Battlefield style war game, and it's like probably by far my favorite video game right now. I play it for like an hour every night. Almost level 60. I'm gonna make my own Neon Space clan when I hit level 60, because you have to be level 60 to make a clan. But the game's super fun. But
yeah, I think if you own a Bored Ape, I think you also can like stake it for like Bored Ape Yacht Club tokens, like the ape coin stuff. So I do think it does have like some type of like yield. But
and they also like did all the airdrops, like all their partner airdrops. People that got into Bored Ape Yacht Club early have made a ton of money. It's just very dangerous to enter at the high prices later. Is like you're speculating that they're going to do more airdrops, or like the token value is going to be worth whatever they're building to put the tokens. So tokens has to be used for something, like buying into the games. And if the games all suck, then it's like, I don't know. But I don't follow that stuff super closely. I know Yuga released like a new like social game where you can like vote up people's stuff. I have not played Byte City. Yeah, I miss playing Our Planet with you, Edward. That was it's fun. I got burned out on Our Planet though. My personality doesn't work well for Our Planet. I was like setting alarms and waking up in the middle of the night, not sleeping more than 3 hours to make sure people weren't attacking my base. And it's just like, this is not a healthy way to live life, that I'm like can't sleep for more than 3 hours at a time because people are attacking my bases, and I'm like trying to dodge the attacks by sending my robots back and forth like in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping. And it's like, it was rough, but I do miss the community that we had when we were playing, like with WBZ and the Neon Space Clan, and a lot of those people are still playing or doing other stuff. But that was the best part of our planet, was the fact that you could actually get together with a bunch of wax folks you've been talking to for the past couple of years and play a game with them. So
Yeah,
definitely
that
looking
was
forward
cool.
to more opportunities like that. I would just like one that's much less hardcore than our planet, because it was just too hardcore for me. All right, let's get into this giveaway, and then we can get back into a little bit of tech talk, and we'll do a couple of these giveaways because we have how many of these packs? I'm gonna try to give them all away before Comic Con. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, like what is that? 8 packs? I can't count. 9 packs? 10 packs?
Oh yeah,
10. That's the number.
Sune packs, Marcy. Hi, sweetie.
And if you are going to San Diego Comic Con, go check out Priscilla's booth. She'll be in Artist Alley or wherever it is, I think. And she sells. Let's give her a plug real quick.
I have to.
Her
That's my
website, Art of Priscilla Wilson, or is it? I used to have it saved. Sune.
The Kitsune.
I don't think your website's actually Sune, though. I think it's Art of Priscilla Wilson, but giving a bad plug right now. It's probably linked in her collection, right? It is
Booth 4721. Free NFT giveaways each day. That's cool. How's the NFT vibe? How's the NFT vibe at like Comic-Con? Do people generally get stoked about it or not care about it, or some third reaction?
She says she has booth 4721 and she'll have free daily NFT giveaways, but yeah, she makes these sweet. Oh wow, is this for SDCC? This looks super cool. She just kind of like the opposite of VIRL. Like if you buy the physical, you can get a NFT version of the physical. If there's only 12 of these, I imagine there's only going to be 12 NFT versions of this. I also assume you're doing it the same way. I haven't checked with you, but that's in the past how she's done it, and she actually seems to do a pretty good job at onboarding collectors from the physical collector space into the NFT space, which is cool because like we need more collectors on Wax. So I think Priscilla's doing a great job and is great for the Wax ecosystem. And honestly, we're trying to copy her and start going to cons herself and selling physical merchandise to try to onboard people into the NFT space, because she said it actually works pretty good. Like she said, one, people don't dislike free stuff, like being like, hey, here's a free NFT. Like no one's upset to get a free thing. And if they like, or whatever, I hate NFTs, they'll just not claim it. So like people aren't really like as aggressively against NFTs as they would lead you to believe. And a lot of people are just like excited to get a free thing on top of the thing they're buying. So from what I've heard, people are not like super anti. I think it's a lot of the artists that are actually more anti-NFT. Like some of the artists have very very strong opinions and they think it's a scam, and like they're the ones that are more negative than the actual collectors.
I see.
Okay, I knew something was Art of Priscilla Wilson. That's the actual Shopify, but her website is Valor and Vellum, and then if you want to buy something, it links to the Shopify.
Gotcha.
I think we're technically still Wax ambassadors, but I haven't done like a single campaign from the Wax ambassador program in a while because they keep trying to promote stuff I'm just not interested in, but that's a whole other rant.
Yeah. It's like an opt-in promote thing, which I feel like I would have had to opt out of the ambassador thing if it wasn't, because they definitely choose a bunch of projects. So I'm like, I don't feel comfortable promoting this to people. That
I just don't like the new system. They made it so much less personal. They're just like, okay, let's automate everything through a website instead of actually like reaching out and talking to people. They like, I don't know. They basically tried to make a website replace Larcy. They're like, people submit through the website and then the ambassadors automatically just have the things pop up, and all that used to be done manually through Larcy. And I feel like Larcy actually like vetted projects and was like doing a good job at talking to the community. And like she would ask, she's like, hey, like this person asked to be a part of the ambassador program, or not about part of the ambassador program. This person would like to be promoted. Like, what do you guys think about it? So before they added new projects, they would actually ask the community like, hey, have these people scammed you before? And people were like, hey, this project leader is like has a track record of just screwing people over and over and over, maybe don't ask us to promote that stuff. And then they would actually not promote it. Now they don't do any of that. They just like whatever they seem fit without talking to the community. They just put stuff out, and like some of the stuff they're putting out, like I don't think is good for Wax. So I'm just not interested in promoting it. That being said, they do promote stuff like Encryptia for Taco, and like occasionally projects pop up in there where I'm like, yeah, that's a worthy project. But there's also a lot of shenanigans that get promoted through there. Like the new like Supremacy Gaming, they have like first off, those are the people that tried to do the Stormtrooper thing without the IP, and like they launched there's gonna be a Stormtrooper project on Wax, and I was like, it just didn't happen, and like I don't know, that was a fucking total clusterfuck and not cool. Yeah. And then we learned those people are launching a racing game on Wax. And it's the third iteration of a phone app they launched like 8 years ago. So they're basically just reskinning a failed phone game and trying to sell the cars as NFTs, which they already sold as not NFTs and failed. So it's like you're taking a failed product and trying to reskin it and launch on Wax. That's not what we should be promoting. Like this is already consumers have already decided this is not a good product and they're not willing to pay for it. Right. So reskinning it with NFTs and selling it to people on Wax, that is not the way. Like we need viable products.
It might actually do well because people on Wax aren't buying gaming stuff. They're not gamers. So maybe that's what they're thinking. They're like, oh, we'll just sell this to people who don't know what good games are.
Speculative, like people that are speculating that it will be good, and they're like trying to target people that don't understand the stuff already doesn't work. But like in my opinion, that's not what the Wax team should be pushing. I haven't looked at the newest updates, but I saw the picture of Sammy on the olive farm, and
with the shovel.
I'm glad that they're pushing forward. And I know there's like, I don't know, there's been a lot of animosity in the space towards Sammy, but like one thing you can say about Olive Land is even though they did not push out the game they said they're going to push immediately, they're now pushing it out, which sort of, in my opinion, is like way too late to be pushing out a clicker. But they actually built a fucking, like, the money went to build an olive farm. The olive farm exists.
Yeah.
They didn't just take the money and run from the space. Like, it's not like, oh, some guy just bought a car, which, you know, I'm not going to name other projects, but some project leaders were showing off pictures of their new cars after doing $1 million sales. And that's not what happened with Olive Land. Like, Sammy didn't just print a bunch of money. The money went to go build the infrastructure for a physical farm that is now growing olives. So, like, at the very least, the game part was kind of a disaster, but they built something with the money. They didn't just rug Wax and like, and also now they are developing the game. That's what all the new updates are. So I'm not super up to date on it, but yeah, let's do this giveaway before we get too off the rails and Wax stuff. I also want to look at the new Funko drop today. They burned like, was it like 60,000 packs or something ridiculous? Like,
yeah, like
they
30,
burned a shit ton of packs. But I also honestly don't hate that. Like, I think it's better for collectors to have a larger supply and then let people get what they want and then burn the rest than it is to like have flippers just buy it all and then gouge the collectors. Like, I feel like collectors win more on these oversupplies, but I don't know. It's hard to say because it's also like it sucks that if they burn a ton of packs because then you don't pull all the mints out of the pack. So like mint 1 might never make it out of the pack. 20% burn, so that's got to be like 20,000 packs burned because I think it was like close to 100K drop. So I was way off on my numbers, but that's still a lot of packs.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this giveaway. Let's go.
That's a lot. They did try to sell a lot of them too.
I don't hate that though. It's better than like collectors getting gouged by flippers on Wax. Like if you have to choose between the two, I'd rather be an oversupply. That way the flippers don't win and it doesn't sell out, so people can buy it at the price it's actually worth. And then a couple hours after, they're like, okay, let's just burn it all. It's like,
I like
that's just more fair to the collectors.
I'm down to take a look at that after this giveaway. I feel like for our DeFi investment, let's leave our pools alone. They look fine to me. Like we're in range. We're not like crazy beyond what we were expecting to see this week, and next week's about the same. Maybe a little bit more on the upside, or less on the downside. But we can totally leave all of our ranges where they are. So I feel like we're not missing out on like a close off on that portion of what we were doing.
You don't think anything's worth adjusting for if Wax pumps because of the XRP news?
Not really, because we already have our pump. We have a pump pool set up that catches a 645% pump. Like, there's no way we're going to be pumping more than that.
Sorry. It's Cracknack Nork. Congrats, Crack. You are going to get a Sune pack. Greeks.gm. That's also a pretty cool wallet you got there. I got to alt tab you another
red flag. The red flag.
I'm all tabbed, so it's probably freezing the Grubfish screen, but know that off
Yeah.
screen I am sending you this prize because I'm logged into the wallet on a different browser.
Let's see. $2,004 right now for ETH. It's still climbing. Let's go.
Yeah, if you all missed earlier, we talked about it for the NFT Gamer TV Raiders. There's been a big case for like the SEC versus XRP, and basically like it would set the legal precedent of can you say like any crypto is just a security, and it basically like it didn't totally clear XRP off the hook, but it did kind of say that like you can't just say everything they do is a security, which is good for the rest of the crypto market, and it seems to be like the reason why other tokens are pumping and not just XRP, but XRP also had a very large pump today.
The big takeaway from today's news is effectively that a judge in New York said that crypto assets offered on like brokerage exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini and stuff are not like being sold to the public. That is not constitute an unregistered security or unregulated security. So that is not securities fraud. But the security fraud remains in XRP Foundation selling XRP units to institutional investors. That's a lot harder to not consider an investment. So, yeah.
Farmer says nobody smokes crack just once. I knew someone that had smoked crack twice, and they were like, yeah, it's like the funnest shit I've ever done. I can see why it ruins people's lives, but you have to have amazing self-control to be able to smoke crack once or twice. I personally don't have that self-control, so I will never smoke crack.
Yeah. I hear it tastes like cherry candy.
This is also, it is an inside joke for H3. Ethan, the host of the H3 podcast, very frequently mentions that he smoked crack once. That's what the joke is.
That's funny. I watched the Steve-O's Wild Ride interview with Eric Andre the other day. That was pretty fun. I never realized that PCP is very similar to ketamine, is what they were saying. And they would know, I feel like. I didn't know that that was the case. I always thought PCP was something like more psychedelic or more intense, but apparently, you know.
You need a not drug advice banner, not financial advice. Yeah. Don't put all your money into crack.
That was the way that Eric Andre put it. He was like, ketamine is pharmaceutical grade PCP, like, and PCP is like a street version of ketamine.
What's going on, BDAO? I haven't seen one of BD streams in a while. I feel like BD, you're always streaming at times that I'm not on my computer. But I hope all is going well for you and the White Dragon community. We also still have some of your promos. I don't know if those are still applicable for anything. I was meaning to ask you, like, if we should wait to give those away until your next drop, because I know, like, last time you let people blend some of the promos into stuff. But I can also DM you about that instead of trying to ask you over the internet on a Twitch stream. Exclamation point neon, if anybody would like to join this giveaway, which will be for another...
I love that special too, Princess. Legalize everything.
San Diego pack. PCP stream incoming. Maybe Max will do it. I am not going to be doing PCP.
I gotta say, I never really was interested in it until I heard about it being very similar to ketamine. I was like, oh, what?
I don't know. At that point, I'd rather just do ketamine, though. That's like, oh shit, that's the wrong one. That's like doing like ecstasy versus Molly. Like, I never want to do ecstasy because it's always cut with bullshit because it's not pure Molly. Like, why would you want to do the impure worse version of shit that's going to fuck up your body worse? Like,
yeah, that's true. He was telling a story about he went to like the ketamine clinic, which is like a place you go to be medically like supervised while doing really high doses of ketamine, I think for some type of therapy. But
that is like, you can do that therapy in Los Angeles, ketamine therapy.
Yeah, you can go
like with a person and they kind of like, but oh, that's kind of like a new wave. I mean, they used to do like LSD therapy in the 50s and 60s too. Like when LSD was first invented, both the therapist and the patient would take LSD and you do a therapy session, and people were supposed to have breakthroughs that they couldn't have because like the LSD would trigger stuff in your mind that would like just unlock like trauma and stuff that you wouldn't be able to think about otherwise. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the science on that, and they also made it super illegal so that they stopped doing all those studies. So it's hard to say if that really works. And ketamine's also pretty
Yeah.
illegal, so I don't know how like formally it's being studied.
Yeah, I don't know, but
This
I
is
don't
a
know
good
that
question by
ketamine
Yamster.
clinics.
What happened to the spicy chip stream? I feel like Mark and you are both going to get spicy
I
chips. Then you can on stream.
You know what happens? I ordered my fucking thing and it never came. So I guess I should fucking follow up with that place and have them like resend me a new one.
I will not be doing it because I have
I don't know
pretty
what
severe
Mark went.
stomach issues. I'm not going to eat like atomic heat stuff. I
I
already
think
have
Mark.
diarrhea more than I'd like to, and I am not going to
I will
ruin my
definitely do that.
stomach for a stream.
I'll eat those. They're like this death nuts or something. The hot nuts. I like that. That's a good call,
Eric
dude.
says it might reset my stomach. Hard pass. I'm also not going to be doing a PCP stream. I'm on the totally sober train. I think it's been like over a month since I've smoked weed, so I'm a sober folk now. Straight edge, not really, but
sober living, baby.
I also haven't even been drinking caffeine. I've been like totally stimulant free because caffeine fucks up my stomach. So I'm like, I'm just living. I'm just high on life, guys. I feel like that's the lamest fucking thing to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't judge people who fucking. I mean, I smoked weed every day for like multiple years straight, so definitely not against smoking weed. Is find it was fucking up my stomach worse because I'd get too stoned at night and try to eat junk food at like 3 in the morning, and then while I try to sleep, it hurts my stomach, and I can't sleep because I wake up in the middle of the night because my stomach hurts, and it's just like a continuing cycle of like, I don't know, never being able to sleep and having really poor quality of life because I was always tired, and then being tired all the time, low energy, which also made me more depressed. Whole thing was just not good. So not smoking weed has been very good for my physical and mental health, but other people can do it responsibly and it doesn't affect them negatively. So I ain't got no problem with it. It's just my whole thing is I can do drugs as long as they don't negatively impact my life, and it started negatively impacting my life, so I had to cut it out. Gym solves everything. I've also tried to start doing more physical exercise as well, but it's like 95 degrees every day in LA for the next 2 weeks. So it's like I don't even want to go outside and do my walk anymore. It fucking sucks. I have to wait until like the sun sets and it's still like 80 degrees out.
I do like that. Like being high is similar to not being high. I kind of agree with this. I think being high is very mild, at least for me. Like getting really stoned is still like, I don't know. It doesn't impair me very much, but I do know people who get really like high and then can't function.
I'm pretty functional. The problem for me was really like the munchie problem because like I get to a point where I can't really get higher. I just get hungrier the more I smoke, and I have no self control, so I just keep like chain smoking my vape, and then like want to just eat constantly and like can't not eat. And then that was really what's fucking me up, especially with the late night, because like my stomach issues get way better when I don't eat past a certain hour. Like I like to have like 5 or 6 hours after I eat to go to sleep, or I just wake up with a stomach ache. And like it was just, I don't know, it's like impossible for me not to get the munchies and want to eat shit in the middle of the night. And I don't know, maybe some people are better at not eating or they don't have stomach issues, but like for me specifically, it was causing physical issues.
Yeah, I definitely munch on my popsicles at late at night, but those are basically just fruit that I froze and grounded up.
I also for years was able to like, I don't know, eat junk food and then pass out and then sleep fine. Like it was more until my stomach issues came that it became like a bigger issue, but I don't know. My stomach issues have been better lately. I've actually been able to eat gluten and cheese again. Like I was not eating gluten and cheese for months, not even months, like a full year. And like, I don't know, 4th of July, I bought burgers and I'm now out of burgers, but I had burgers like 8 days in a row because I had an 8-pack and I wanted to eat it before the lettuce and buns went bad. And like, didn't have any stomach issues eating pretty greasy burgers with cheese and buns, which is like gluten and dairy. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling better. And that also kind of aligned with me stopping smoking weed. So it seems to be helping. And I don't know, living with stomach pain all the time fucking sucks. So if stopping weed helps me with that, then I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, that tracks. I feel like stomach ache sucks so bad. I wouldn't fucking smoke either. That's annoying. I do smoke a lot though.
Yeah, you're also a very functional person. Like, I think the whole thing is it doesn't negatively impact your life, and you just have to be honest with yourself. And if it doesn't, like, it's fine. I also was trying to quit smoking weed like back when the pandemic started, but I ended up smoking weed again because I was like, well, whatever. I'm already locked in my room playing video games 8 hours a day. Like, I might as well be high for this. But I feel like now that the world has opened up a little bit more, like, I'm more likely to go exercise and be productive when I'm not smoking weed every day when I wake up. So it's helped me be more productive as well. Although, like,
Yeah.
I was pretty able to like get what I need to get done while smoking weed every day anyway. But
Yeah. I kind of agree. I don't know. It's like a pretty, like, I think it's a pretty mild thing, but I think it can be pretty intense for people.
yeah, it also affects everybody differently. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
not everybody
Like
has the
I'm
same
not.
drug experience.
I stopped sharing my, like, when I make edibles and stuff. I like don't share those because like I make them for myself and like how I like to be stoned. And every time I share them with people, it's just like too much for them. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Like it's not gonna be fun for you. It's like, yeah, you can have one, but like you're not gonna have fun. You're gonna be like sleeping for the next like 5 hours.
I was okay to
So
eat your edibles, but I also had a crazy tolerance.
you have
I
an
remember the
insane
first
tolerance.
time, like,
Yeah, most people don't.
edibles, when you don't have a high tolerance, can like ruin your fucking day. Like, I remember the
Yeah,
time, like, the
exactly.
first
You
time
just like
ever I
feel like,
had my buddy made muffins, weed muffins with hash oil. And that was like,
yeah.
I don't know, I hadn't done like the oil and stuff. I was only on like dry bud. So like I just never had that concentrated weed before. And that, like, it's like a psychedelic experience. Like, it's a different way of being high. Like, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I have bad feelings with the show Portlandia because of that experience. Like, I had such a negative experience while being high watching Portlandia. I didn't understand any of the jokes. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, but now I have just like negative feelings towards that TV show because I had such a bad like trip on that
Damn.
experience trying to watch Portlandia. That is like, I don't know. That's happened to me a few times too from edibles. Edibles really have given me like the worst trips that I've ever had as far as on weed, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
always when I don't smoke a lot and then I take an edible. When I do have a higher tolerance, the edibles don't affect me as much. But like one of the first
I
times
feel like
I
yeah,
took
yeah.
a bunch of edibles, like I made like an entire thing of pot brownies, and then I went camping with my friends, and then I took a psychedelic, and I realized I didn't bring any food. So on top of the psychedelic I was eating a shit ton of pot brownies, and I just got way too high. Like, and I'd taken the psychedelic before and been fine. But that's like the worst psychedelic trip I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I was certain that I was dying for like 3 hours. It's just like lying in the woods, like I think my heart's gonna explode. Like, I am not living past this. And it was like everybody else I was with was also drinking alcohol. I was the only person tripping. And I don't know if you've been around
Yeah.
drunk people when you're really high. It's obnoxious as fuck. So I just
It's
was like,
so annoying. Yeah.
yeah, I was
Ugh.
like, I'm gonna go walk away from all of my friends and just sit by myself and have panic attacks in the woods. It was like the worst fucking
Nice.
experience I've ever had on psychedelics. I also have a lot of
That sounds pretty
anxiety,
shitty.
and I can hit a high threshold where, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you have feedback loops in your mind where you just worry about one thing over and over and you can't get out of that fucking loop. And that was happening to me
Yeah.
while also being high on psychedelics. And the feedback loop is that I was dying, and it's just like the worst fucking experience I've had.
Yeah. The real pro tips for like if you want to go do like these psychedelics is have like Xanax or like Valium or any like anti-anxiety drug on hand, but don't take it unless you're having a bad time because it'll just straight up kill your trip.
The
Like it'll
environment
kill
is
the
also
visual,
so
everything.
important. Don't take
Environment,
psychedelics
yeah.
by yourself in the woods with a bunch of drunk people. That's just a bad
Yeah, that
idea.
doesn't work so
I was
well.
young. I didn't know what I was
Although
doing, and being around people
although
you
like
trust
the
is super important because you're gonna be having like heart to hearts and trying to share stuff, and like you're gonna sound like a fucking idiot a lot of the time. So you just say nonsense. So like being around people you really trust in a safe environment where there's no authorities to like anywhere you're around people where there's like, oh, is somebody gonna know I'm high? Like that can ruin your trip. Like you gotta
yeah,
be around people you trust in an environment that feels safe. Is like not
yeah,
drug advice. I need that banner, but that would be my advice if you
not
are
drug
going to take
advice.
psychedelics.
Yeah. I do feel like having something that can kill a trip though on hand gives you like that layer of back of mind, like peace of mind, back of the head peace of mind, where you're just like, oh, if things do get too wild, I can hit the off switch. And just knowing that is like enough to like keep you in a headspace where things don't get too wild, in my experience.
I've never actually tried that, but I also haven't done psychedelics in a very long time. I was much of a more psychedelic astronaut
And
in my
the
younger
move
days.
is you start with MDMA, and then once that's starting to wear down, that's when you start your your LSD trip, and then you're like in the most happy mindset ever, and that just extends into your whole trip.
I always like coming down. Like coming down from mushrooms was one of my favorite parts of doing mushrooms. That feeling where you're like, oh, I'm no longer peaking, and I can like have rational thoughts again, and like you can reflect on the
Yeah,
experience you just had. That was almost better to me than like when you're going fucking wild. I've done crazy
that's
stuff
like
at
when
mushrooms.
all the fun conversations happen and like the cool thoughts and shit happen. Yeah, like after the peak on the come down. I agree. That's like one of the best parts. I feel like that's also the part you don't get there when you microdose. And that's like why I don't like microdosing. Like people are like swear by that and they're like, oh, it's so cool. It's like, no, microdosing feels like the anxiety you have before the peak. And then you never actually get to the peak. So it just feels like anxiety to me. Like I don't like it. But the full
I
on
also never like
tripping,
the
I
come up. The
can
come
do.
up feeling is always super uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
I used to try to like my way I'd try to do it in college was I'd take it and then try to take a nap and I would just wake up like being high. Like and I'd always like that. I'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna like try to go to sleep and I'll wake up in an hour just like being high.
That's
Max
weird.
actually does Max used kratom very medically. Max he messed up his
That
back.
saved my shit, dude.
I gotta go refill my water. You should talk about your back experience with kratom since
Yeah,
he's
I'll tell you
asking.
about the kratom, dude. And that thing was a lifesaver. I like really hurt my back, like a herniated disc with a spinal hematoma, 15 millimeter AP diameter. Very, very bad. Um like I couldn't sit on the couch like I am right now. That would hurt too bad. Or like, and by extension, I couldn't sit like on a toilet or like anywhere. But oh, what up, Rados? I'm about to go on a weird tangent here, but thanks. Strap into this nonsense. But yeah. So the question was if I'd heard of kratom, and yeah, so I was dealing with like really intense pain, and obviously there's like really high level pain like management drugs that I was also like using, but those aren't really long term solutions. And this kind of pain, this ended up lasting like 3 months, and so through like online forums, I was looking at forums where people were talking about how they dealt with their opioid addictions, because opioids were like what is it, like oxycodone and stuff were like the other, like the main painkillers that I was getting. But obviously because of the drug epidemic around the opioids, they're really sparing about how much they prescribe, if at all, to somebody in pain, especially in like a longer term pain. So I wasn't getting enough help from a doctor to manage this pain, and it was so bad that like I wasn't able to sleep at night or anything. And I found this kratom, which is like for people who are unaware, it's like a pine needle style like plant that gets ground into like a green just powder, and then you can make that into tea. You can just eat the powder, but like you can basically you ingest the powder, and in high doses it has very similar effects to like opioid drugs. So it has that same like pain relief sensation and a similar euphoria that you get, like, you know, that high feeling that you get when you're on like pain pills. It has that as well. And then in lower doses, like if you take very little of it, it's more similar to like a stimulant like caffeine. Like you could, I know a few people I used to work with that would like put it like chew tobacco almost like inside their lip in the mornings. And like I think it's gross because it tastes like asshole, but I mean it works as like a stimulant as well. So what I was doing with the kratom, like Liz said, I had like long-term experience with it, is every night I would take 1 ounce of kratom powder and make a mason jar full of tea with it. So I would just pour the powder into a mason jar with hot water, add like 2 peppermint tea bags just for flavor, and then like a bunch of honey. And then I'd like shake it up in there and let it sit overnight in the refrigerator so that all the sediment and all that powder would settle to the bottom of the jar. And then in the morning, I would pour half of the jar into a glass and drink that. And then the other half I would save for, you know, like for later in the day. And then, you know, about 8 or 9 hours after the first drink in the morning, I would drink the second half. And then I would make another batch of tea for the next day. And I was doing that for like 3 months. And I was able to manage pain that was previously being managed with like epidural like opioid injections and with like straight up like 80 milligram oxycodone pills. I was able to manage that entirely with kratom for
It was also
multiple
because
months.
you were unable to even get the prescriptions for that stuff because the
Yeah.
doctors were just like, sorry, even though you're in like
Insane.
life-ruining pain daily, we can't prescribe you opioids. Which honestly, it's
I'd
probably better
like
that you
I would
found
go to the
kratom.
doctor and I'd literally like I'd get my like blood pressure taken and they'd be like, damn, your blood pressure's super high. It's like, yeah, I'm in excruciating pain. And they're like, here's some more Tylenol. And like for a while I was just buying a lot of those drugs just on the black market too. So the kratom really was a way, because kratom is legal. You can just buy that like at the local head shop or like online. And so I was buying like multiple kilos of kratom for maybe like $100 a kilo for like the higher end ones, and maybe like $70 a kilo. And like I said, I was doing maybe 1 to 2 ounces of that stuff per day, so a kilo lasts quite a while, and is actually like a reasonably affordable and actually effective solution to manage pain. I've also told this to multiple people since then who were dealing with chronic pains, and they've also reported like very good results from it. The biggest issue I have with it is it tastes like ass. And like I said, a lot of people will just eat the powder. Eating the powder
So
directly,
gross.
like I said, I made it into a tea, and I was drinking the tea, and I would dump all the like goop, like the the biomatter. But people who eat that, it is very hard on your stomach. And
That's the other
like
thing, dude.
I know someone who did that and got ulcers, but he was doing it like in the amounts I was describing, but without making a tea. He was just eating like ounces a day.
It gives
Which
you like
not a
the
good
same
look.
feeling as taking mushrooms where you just feel like an
Yeah, it's
uneasiness in your stomach. It does not feel like your
yeah,
body
exactly.
is
It's a little
processing it
not
well.
good in your stomach, but it's
I'm also putting on the
definitely
bottom here, not drug advice. Please consult a doctor before taking
yeah.
illicit drugs. I
And
don't
I
know what
did.
kratom is going to do to your body, so
Yeah,
just because it works for Max doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Don't listen to strangers on the internet about what to put in your
yeah.
body.
I talked to a few doctors about it after it worked for me, and they were like, since it works for you, it's like go ahead and keep doing it, but be aware like the risks of it are. And like one of the doctors had actually like read up on kratom a bit and was like saying how it has like a chemical composition similar to like psychedelics and similar to opium. So it's like they were like chemically it's almost like you're taking opium, which also, it's not bad, but like it's not good, you know.
It's also made
And
from a plant, so it's like not like a
yeah,
synthetic
exactly.
thing.
It's not very
It's called
processed.
Mitriana speciosa, I guess is the.
Yeah, it's like a little pine tree that
Oh
grows in
wow, it's
like
part of the
Thailand.
coffee family native to Southeast Asia. That's crazy, but
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I
that's
think
why it's like it is a stimulant in low doses, but in high doses, like very high doses, it is very effective as a painkiller. And
and at
again,
least
like
in
I said, I would
America,
drink that in the morning. It would last like 8 or 9 hours, which is way longer than an oxy pill lasts.
they
So it
also generally
really
sell
was
it
useful.
at just like head shops where you can get like tobacco, like rolling tobacco, and like the water pipes, like smoke shops will often just have kratom, like the same place you get like whippet containers and same place you get your what are
Your Nas?
poppers, whippets, kratom.
Oh,
Wherever you
poppers,
find
yeah.
those things, they generally have kratom. Again,
Yeah,
not drug advice.
poppers have the added risk of like, obviously poppers is a sex drug. But don't mix it with Viagra. That's life threatening. Like that can be dangerous.
I've
Which
never.
kind of sucks because both of those drugs you would absolutely take like in context of the bedroom. I would say, at least I guess maybe not in the straight world. In the gay world, it's a very much a gay sex drug.
I've only tried kratom just for like, or not kratom, sorry, poppers. Just like,
Poppers.
I mean, I've never tried them in the context of sex. I've only just been like, I feel like it gives me a headache. I don't really like poppers. I've never liked it.
Yeah, higher quality poppers will not give you as bad of a headache, but like shitty poppers does.
I've
It's
only
pretty
had
much like
shitty
huffing
like
paint thinners. It's
corner store
nasty.
poppers.
Yeah. I don't know. I also don't like it. It makes it makes your head feel real hot, like a hot flash almost. And it gives you a bit of a headache. People like to get like really because like if you just keep hitting it over and over again, you get like out of your fucking mind high. Like you can't like hold yourself up anymore. You're just like a rag doll, and people like to get that high and then get fucked.
Yeah, I've never
Which,
gotten there personally.
if you're into it,
I think
but
Amyl is the name of that, right?
yeah, it's like what is it called?
Yeah, poppers is amyl
Amyl
nitrate.
nitrate. That's it.
But
Nitrate. Yeah.
there's a punk band I like from Australia called Amyl and the Sniffers. Check out Amyl and the Sniffers, which is an awesome band name because you sniff poppers, and her name is Amy, I think. But check that out if you like female-fronted punk rock. They're like one of my favorite punk rock bands right now. I'll type that in the chat.
Yeah.
Camel and the Sniffers.
Get even deeper into our drug off-topic stuff. I do think
She's
though,
great,
the
though.
kratom was a godsend. Like that saved me from like being in constant pain. I was able to sleep after I took the kratom, and I wasn't able to sleep for more than like 2 hours at a time because of how bad the pain was. And it actually helped. It actually helped more than like some of those opioid pills I got from the doctor. Like, I'm a believer for sure. I stopped taking it. Like I kind of weaned myself off it. I went from like 2 of those into 1 of them a day, and then I just stopped. And
it's definitely way less addictive than like opioids. Will fuck your body up if you try to stop taking them cold turkey after taking them for a couple months, which is why people get so addicted to them. So that's why I'm saying it's actually probably better you didn't get prescribed like crazy amounts of opioids that you're taking for 3 months straight. That could have fucked you up.
I was taking psychobenzaprine, which is like a muscle relaxer, and that kind of fucked me up for being on that for so long. Like that was like almost had like weird like psychosis like effects. It made me feel very strange. I talked to a therapist about it.
Like, I've never seen Max play more Overwatch on the couch than when he had his back issues. Just every day Max is on the couch playing Overwatch.
Yeah, I got pretty good. I got out of Bronze League. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely, like I said, I've told many people about it after this happened. And like, it definitely, if you are dealing with managing pain, I do think it's worth looking into. Like, it
Vindicator.
Genuinely.
Shout out. I don't know. I was just taking it recreationally when Max was taking it because he had so much of it, and it is fun to just take recreationally.
It is fun. Like it's
not
similar to
advice,
taking pills. It's fun. It is like you have that euphoria, and like I said, it lasts a long time, like 6 to 8 hours if you're taking like a high dose of it. And if you're making a tea properly, it's actually pretty palatable. Like I added quite a bit of honey to my tea,
it's
but
pretty gross still.
It's okay. Yeah, let me not be too friendly here. It's nasty. It's bitter and
even
gross.
with an ass ton of honey, it still tastes real bad. Because I was also
I cut it with peppermint tea too, because peppermint tea like makes this weird like aftertaste that actually helped quite a bit. But yeah, it's not a good flavor. No one's drinking that stuff for the flavor. But it is. There's also many different variants of it. I tried quite a few before I got like one that I was like, this one really does pain killing well. This one really does like other things. I don't know. It's an interesting one. It's definitely, be aware that it's hard on your stomach if you're going to take a lot of it.
Who knows? Maybe that's what fucked up my stomach. I didn't have stomach issues before I took kratom.
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know.
Definitely.
Not drug advice, not health advice, but I did not have stomach issues before I took kratom recreationally, and now I have horrible stomach issues. So maybe consult a doctor.
Yeah. And like if you are going to take it, I recommend the Marcy. I recommend the tea approach versus the I forget there's like a term for like eating it, but I forget the term for it. It's like
you don't boof
Marcy,
it.
I heard boof, maybe boof. I don't know.
That's when you put it up your butt, right?
Okay, then no, that's not it. I don't know if it would work like that.
There used to be a guy in the wax space called Boof and Bronco, and I always thought that was a hilarious name.
Yeah, I feel like you can drink up your butt as well, like because you could absorb alcohol through that, right?
It's actually really dangerous because you absorb drugs way faster. That's why people put them up their butt. It's a more efficient way to absorb the drugs.
Oh, yeah. People do it like for function, not just for pleasure. Oh.
Yogurt does help with stomach because it has probiotics and stuff, but I also take probiotics daily separately. I was kind of like on and off with yogurt because I was not eating dairy. But you can do like a Greek yogurt is like the least dairy out of all the yogurts. So Greek yogurt is pretty safe, even if you have like dairy sensitivity.
Oh, does it skip your liver if you go through the butt? I don't know. She saw someone walking by and she got mad.
Speaking of, I'm going to take my probiotic right now. What is this? Primal Defense Ultra probiotic formula. It's what is in this? Saccharomyces boulardii, organic barley grass, organic oat grass, Lactobacillus plantarum. It's got so much weird stuff in here, but
Are those like
there's
real words?
Yeah, it's 5 billion live cultures is what it is. So there's like 5 billion living things that go in here and hang out in your stomach and have a good time. And no, I will not be boofing this probiotic.
It's the spice
There is that
melange.
weird, since we're way off the rails, there's that weird procedure where you have like a shit transplant where they put a
Yeah.
healthy person's poop in your butt. So you get like the cultures from that. That's a little too weird. It's a little too Miranda July for me. I don't know if anybody even knows the reference Miranda July, but she had a movie called, I think it was like Me and You and Everyone We Know. And there's like a little kid obsessed with like butt to butt pooping. That's all I can
What?
think of when somebody says there's a poop transplant system. I'm just like, this just reminds me of some weird art house film I used to really like in high school. Shout out to Miranda July. I don't know if she's still making weird art house films, but I was into really weird movies in high school.
Paul's like into it too over here. That's funny. I always think about the South Park episode, the Spice Melange. They have a whole South Park episode about that, like the microorganism, like your biome inside your body, the like of microorganisms and how they work with your digestive tract, and that like the soccer player Peyton Manning, I think, was like, or some like, I'm sorry, football player, some like sports person. Sorry, I'm not a sports fan, but some like very famous sports person was like,
Tom Brady,
you know,
what Odin says.
Tom Brady. Okay, yeah, okay. He was like the epitome of like a healthy biome. So his poop was like the spice melange. So like,
You know, I would not do fecal transplants for most people. I'd take Tom Brady's poop. Hook me up with some Tom Brady's poop.
Tom Brady's poop. Yeah, the spice melange. They know about the spice.
Maybe women will like me better if I have Tom Brady's poop. Women love Tom Brady. Maybe some of that will just go into my butt and I'll get some of his mojo.
Some of that is just the biome there. Huh? Who knows?
He was also one of like the best NFL quarterbacks for years. Like his team won the Super Bowl a bunch of times.
Yeah, I feel like that procedure.
While we're
I feel like that procedure is probably like very effective on like very specific conditions. Like, I'm sure it works, but like, you know, nobody ever needs it.
Oh wow. The thing that sucks about fecal transplants is they don't always work. My sister had one, it didn't take. So you're like putting somebody else's poop in your butt for no reason, just for the pleasure. That's the only reason.
It didn't take. Do you just poop it out, or do they have to remove it, or do you just poop it out like you normally?
I don't think they have to surgically remove poop from your butt.
I don't either, but I honestly don't know.
So we're gonna have this form going in the background. You can still !neon, but part of this show, this is a weird show. We're doing DeFi and also off the rails in the same show, but we're gonna just play some funny viral videos. We take submissions in our Discord. If anybody has like TikTok, Reddit, or Instagram videos, like anything they see that's fun throughout the week, feel free to send them to us. The one caveat is we cannot do copyrighted music. So if the bit is around copyrighted music, we can't play it. We already have like a warning on our channel. We'll get a strike if we play more copyrighted stuff. Living on the edge.
Priscilla has too much empathy to ask follow-up questions. You're too good a person, Priscilla.
All right, I believe this is from our very own Paul. And this says World Star. So is it going to be people fighting? I feel like that's what World Star hip hop always is.
Hey, Donnie. Hey, let me see that finger, man. God damn.
It's a huge
one more time, Donnie. Oh my God, that's the longest finger I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Dude, what?
That was crazy looking.
That guy gets all the way into like your fucking all the way into your womb when he's working.
I wonder what his other fingers look like. I would like to see it like in relation to his other fingers. Are all his fingers that long, or just the middle finger? See, can we see?
That's his fucking.
Hey, Donnie. Hey, let me see that finger, man.
Sorry.
God.
You can kind of see him over here.
Damn. One more time, Donnie. Oh my God, that's
Dude, that's like E.T. Man, That's
ET
crazy.
phone home is one of the top comments. He said he's not giving you the bird, he's giving you the eagle. When he flips you off, it's
That's
in
pretty
all
good.
caps. He could
That's
scratch
pretty
his
good. That's
foot
pretty good.
standing
The eagle is
upright.
better.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's do another one. I think this one's sent by
that's a pretty good. That's a
Yamster.
pretty good kickoff. Good kickoff to the videos.
Oh, somebody doing VR Taekwondo. What is this?
Okay.
Virtual Taekwondo. This is going to be awesome.
Okay, that was better than
I will
could have
say
dreamt.
this is impressive as crap. There's no way I would look this good playing this game. I'd be like
No, dude.
kicking
They
like
actually
below
look
my
like they're
fucking
doing.
waist and like falling down.
They're actually doing like karate moves.
It is pretty cool that it's like Tekken or something though. Like, just remember, did you ever go to like GameWorks? They used to have the motion capture Tekken at GameWorks where you could like, it was just like, it was using cameras, but you'd punch and it was always glitchy as shit, never worked. But I always thought that was a cool concept. They never like made it better.
That is a cool concept.
It looks cool. When you look at the screen up there. It looks like it's. He is kind of screaming excessively.
I love the screams.
Oh, he got kicked in the face and KO'd.
That
was dope though. Good video, Yamster.
Dope.
Also, do you want to go by Yam now? I see you changed your name to Yam in our Discord. Should we call you Yam or is Yamster still fine?
That is way cooler than I thought it was going to be, honestly, dude.
This one was posted by Paul. Oh, what? Is this a cat on a boat?
Oh, the cat. I love this one. This one's great.
Careful, please. Really careful. Not yet.
Oh, no.
Not yet.
It's okay.
Can the cat swim? I'd be so worried. I feel like I'd jump in the water after the cat.
Really careful. Not yet. Roger.
He was so far from making it. Like, he was like
She's
foot.
Just like, Roger.
He landed like here.
Not yet. Roger.
Roger.
I think the cat can swim. She doesn't seem that nervous about him.
Okay.
No, she's just kind of disappointed.
Roger, you got to get better depth perception. Come on, brother.
I'll tell you what, though, when Marcy's on a little boat like that with me, she has a little doggy life vest on. So, you know, it's adorable. I don't know. I just wanted that image in your head.
Least comic standing. If you're here, sorry, the link you sent us is now broken.
It's too hot to handle.
It's too hot for Twitch. Let's see. You got Grubfish still open, but let's do some more. This is also least comic standing. Let's see if this one works. All right.
I have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class that have a full academic scholarship.
Wait, is that Bill Gates?
And in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I won the international moot court competition. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits. And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
A few moments later.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
Apparently, Biden had memory issues back in the 80s, too.
I also feel like even if all that stuff were true, like nobody sounds cool saying all that shit about themselves. Like someone else has to say that about you.
Does he have more hair now than he did back then? Look how bald he was. Doesn't Joe Biden have hair now? Is that a different Biden? Is this not Joe Biden? I don't even know. That's how ignorant I am. Were there other Biden politicians?
There's Hunter Biden.
Because Joe Biden has a full head of hair, right? Like that dude's like balding in the 80s.
Maybe he got Hims. Hair club for men.
Hey, look, he has more hair now if that was Biden. I feel like Biden politician 80s. Let's see it. Oh, that was him in 1988. So maybe he had a hair transplant because he definitely has more hair than he used to. I'm finding out all sorts of things about Joe Biden.
He was like, "I want to be president," and they were like, "Not without that hair. We're gonna have to do something about this hair."
Well,
they
honestly,
will never
he
elect
didn't win in
president.
1988, and he did now, so it worked. This in, get a hair transplant if you wanna be president.
It's like this haircut isn't going to resonate with our voters.
This is from Princess Phoenix. Hold on, let's see if she has a blurb about what this is about. It's objectifying, but I like his enthusiasm.
A trans woman. Number one, this girl is every bit of a woman, and then some. Think of her as that Happy Meal with the extra special toy that you haven't played with yet. No.
Who is this content for? Like,
damn,
this is weird.
Number two, you say, "Hey Adam, I've already got that toy to play with myself. Why would we need a second toy to play with at the same time? Did we need a second Ace Ventura Pet Detective movie? Did the Chappelle Show need a second season? Did we really need to clone Kanye West to make a second?" Wait, that's a bad example. But moral of the story is, good things come in twos. Number three, you ever have one of those nights where you want to have a little bit of fun, but your schlong and chimichanga doesn't want to show up to the big game? Well, who better to understand than a woman who has dealt with those same complications? So now when she says, "Oh, it's okay, babe, it looks cute," you know she's coming from a place of empathy and not pity. Number four, no, this does not make you gay. Listen, this is a little bit different than those sleepovers you and your bros used to.
I definitely feel like this is an interesting mixed message. It's like it's progressive, but also like,
also very
super objectifying at the same time. It's like I don't understand what this is. It's like it's progressive, but also very not.
That when you were younger, that was a little gay. Being with a woman of any kind means every part of her is feminine. And while I can't fully explain it, that feminine energy is the hottest thing in the world. You'll figure everything else out later. Number five, this is a woman, and a very powerful woman that's been through a lot to work towards the body and image that she identifies as. So if you want a conversation with sustenance, and not just a conversation about the avocado toast she had earlier, spend some time with a trans woman and you'll meet one of the most beautiful women you've ever met. So follow me for more dating advice with some of the most beautiful women in the world.
All right. I guess
all right.
Go off, King.
Positive note. Good message. A little I guess I don't know, maybe he's speaking to that like audience that thinks that way. I don't know.
That says yes, trying to be progressive while objectifying and not letting the girl speak. By the way, that girl is a stand-up comedian. Let her do some jokes. Very interesting lane. I don't know who that is. Who it's for, but I enjoyed it.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was
it's not what I was expecting. Like every part of that was just
yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. It started like I was expecting it to turn like either lean more into like the absurdity as a joke or like kind of derail in a way, and it just never did. It just kind of stayed the course and then ended on a wholesome note.
All right, this one says farting on dogs. This is also from Princess Phoenix. I feel like dogs love being farted on. Like when I fart near Marcy, she'll like lick the air. She loves that shit.
Wow, Marcy.
Is that what type of dog? It's a it's a
Dachshund.
Hi doggy,
yeah,
hi.
Careful, he gets snotty.
Okay, take that.
Okay, this is some content.
Hi doggy. Sorry guys. Hey doggy, hi. Hey doggy.
He's got to be like playing something in his phone though, right?
Yeah, come on.
Hey,
can you just get his fart like command without worrying about pooping himself?
I feel like you gotta go method actor on this. If you're not actually farting on dogs, I'm not as interested.
Yeah, these better be real farts.
Hey doggy, what type of dog is that? It's like a mix of sorts.
Everything.
Hi. All the doggies. Hey doggy. Sometimes they like that.
Mostly people seem to be pretty just okay with this whole situation.
I don't know what I would do either. I'd just be like, all right, dude.
I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing to my dog? Probably.
kids fart on my dog?
What
I feel like I'd be kind of like these people. Like, it'd take me a minute to process this.
Hi. Sometimes they like that. Is that a golden doodle Labradoodle?
That's more of the expected, like the reaction I would expect.
Golden doodle. I love golden doodles. Great dog. Hey, doggy. I'm sorry, I just love dogs. Hey, doggy.
I will say, I would be much more interested in this content if they're real farts, because I want to see how the dogs actually react to getting farted on.
Yeah, to actual farts. Yeah.
This is a fun video. I'm not going to
know.
watch the full 4 minutes. I feel like we got the gist of it. And we also have like, there's been 60 posts in this channel since I last looked at it. So we got to get through some of these off the rail videos. We'll do 1 or 2 more and then do another giveaway. But !neon if you haven't already. We got a grub fish open in the background.
Horse farts on dog? What?
What does this say? Bro is reminding me of a cleaner. Was there a comment on this? No, this is just Yamster. Let's see.
The size of his opponent's bicep, this guy laughs. Then,
oh man, this guy's gonna wreck this guy in an arm wrestling competition. It's gonna be awesome. Look how buff this guy is. And this guy's super scrawny.
and he gets schooled.
I'll talk about it, I just spit it at the
I don't think we can play that music.
turn the face.
Gonna mute it. Some intense music. We'll just watch it on mute. But I feel like we know what's gonna happen here. That guy's ripped. Look at his veins coming out of his arms. It looks crazy.
Smoke weed every day.
Oh, get wrecked.
The other guy. I don't know.
Can
I feel like
devs
it's a
do something?
super weird lane. Like, who's going to arm wrestling competitions? Like, want to know something I do think is kind of fun though?
You get nothing.
You know those like
lose.
Russian slap
Good
competitions?
day,
Have you seen
sir.
those? That I think is a lane that like I would maybe go watch one of those live, way more than like an arm wrestling competition. That's just like psychopath stuff, like whoever can slap each other. All right, this is a 1948 commercial for lens crafters. Is that what this is?
Don't believe it? Well, it's true, and here's how it's done. To make contact lenses, the eye is anesthetized, then Sydney optician Penryn Thomas,
No
Australia's
fucking
only
way.
contact lens maker, inserts
What?
an impression cup containing
What?
a material for
I
taking a
hate
cast
this.
of the entire
I
eyeball.
hate this.
The mold sets in 2 minutes, and then it's removed.
Oh my
a perfect
God.
impression. Contact lenses are a boon to actors, are worn by several film stars, jockeys.
Do you see that? They
What?
friggin', like,
Fuck that. I looked away,
put
dude.
a
I don't
mold
like eye
casing
stuff.
on your
Don't
eye.
touch your
No.
eye.
Yes, even glasses are made to measure today.
Are you kidding me, dude? Get out of here. Just give me a
Now
fucking
the cast is
standard
put
eye
into a
mold.
press, and the plastic lens itself is molded. The lens is shaped to fit its wearer's eye, and also to give the same visual correction or aid that would be given by normal glasses.
Nah, dude, I don't like eye stuff. I
Now the
wouldn't even
lens
wear
is cut to
contact
shape from the
lenses. Don't
plastic
like touch
square,
my eyes.
and it's ready for grinding. The plastic is unbreakable, and 2 lenses cost 45 guineas. In America, where the new look is popular, lenses cost 75 pounds. The inside surface of
Is this real? Like, in 1948, $75 would be so much money, right? Like,
each lens is
Right,
ground
yeah.
first,
That
a
would be
delicate operation
awesome,
demanding a fine degree of precision. Instruments measure accuracy, determining if the lens fulfills its optometric prescription. Then the tiny eyeglass receives...
I'm going to Google when were contacts invented. I feel like this is fake. When
That's like,
were...
dude, you're not gonna make a mold of my eye. That's insane, right? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't get contact lenses
Can
even if
devs
that
do
process
something?
wasn't part of it. Yeah, nah, dude. That's no. Don't touch my eye.
Thank you for the subscription, Hollow. We appreciate it. Are you kidding me? It was invented in 1508?
Jesus Christ! How did they make the eye
Maybe
molds
this
back
is
then?
fucking real. I learned something new today. Some reports say German glassblower used Herschel's ideas to create the first known glass contact lens in 1887. So
A glass contact lens? God, get the fuck out of here!
that got to feel super weird. In 1948, California optician introduced the first contact lenses that resembled the contact lenses stay. That's the video we're watching. So this is probably accurate. 1948. I hate it though. I hate everything about it.
Fuck
I hate
that,
like
dude.
eye stuff
Nah.
freaks me out. My
I
dad
hate
got like the
modern
laser eye
content.
surgery. The laser eye
I would,
surgery, you just have to have your eyes like peeled open and they shoot laser beams into your eyes. LASIK, like even that is super scary to me. Like anything coming at your eyes.
yeah.
No, thank you.
Anything. Yeah, dude. Like, you know those tests where they have to like test the pressure of your eye by like touching something to it and it feels like a little like a of air on your eye? I'm so bad at that. I'm so like nervous about it that they have to do it like so many times because the readings keep getting fucked up because I just can't handle that. Like the fucking thing coming towards my eye, like I always pull away or I blink or something, and they're like, "We have to do it again." Like, God, dude, don't.
I
touch
suck at
my
all
eyes.
doctor
It's like the
tests.
worst.
Doctors make me super nervous. Like whenever I go to a doctor, they're
Me
like,
too. I hate the doctor.
your heart rate is so fast right now that like we can't do this test. And I'm just like,
Me too. Me too.
like that's making me more nervous. Like you telling me that I'm nervous is like giving me more anxiety and it's
Yeah.
not working out.
It's like you knowing that I'm uncomfortable here just by like reading this fucking thing. Like, nah, dude, fuck this.
I also like
last time I went to the doctor, just to, like when the nurse was doing like the blood pressure, they're like, your blood pressure is really like, we're gonna have to like, you should just wait, sit there, don't talk, just breathe for like 5 minutes, and we'll do this again. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
I also like
just
sweat
'cause I
through
don't like
the
doctor.
I'm the reason they put those like wax papers on the thing. Like my back sweats and I like it sticks to me when I try to get up. I'm just like, God, I'm so gross when I go to the doctor. But like, yeah, that was an issue when like when I was having my stomach issues, I had to get like my heart checked because I was also having like chest pain, which was from the fucking anxiety, which I later learned. But like, I was having troubles doing the heart test because like when they're trying to do the test on me, they're just like, yeah, like looks like your heart's about to explode right now. And I'm like, well, it's not normally like this. I'm just super nervous.
Yeah, I don't know. I also not a fan of the doctor. I'll have like this reaction where I faint if I see like my own blood coming out of me. You know, and that happens like if I'm getting blood drawn and stuff. That's kind of weird too. So I mean, it's happened when I was younger. It happens like clockwork. Like if I look down at my arm and see the like blood moving like through the like thing into like a little jar, it'll like the air will start feeling really hot. I feel like I can't breathe.
Your eyes now, or
I just tell the doctor I have a problem with fainting when I get blood drawn, and they have me lay down to do the blood drawing.
But did you close your eyes still? Or do you just
I just look
eat
away.
the paint?
I just turn my head. Yeah, I just turn my head the other way. I'm not like logically, I'm not like terrified of it or whatever. It's just that it's some weird reaction. Like
it's like a visceral reaction.
It feels
you can't
like,
control it.
Yeah, like if I see it, if I look at it, it just feels like, oh, and the like last time I actually like looked over to look at it, it was so funny. Like it started having that reaction, and then the blood just stopped coming out, and it was like, oh shit! And then he like picked up the vial and like flicked it a bit. And then I just remember waking up on like the X-ray table, and they're like, "Oh, hey, don't get up! Like you passed out."
This was posted by Yamster. It says a normal day in Portland, Oregon, and this guy just looks like he's doing all sorts of wild shit. Let's see. What is this? I don't know what I'm looking at. Capturing the raw realities of homelessness in Portland, this video reveals the struggle faced by homeless individuals, showcasing their desperate cry for attention. Let's raise awareness. This looks like one of the dudes from that, like, remember that like island game we were playing where there's like mutant cannibals?
Oh yeah, totally. He's like a.
He has that vibe. Not gonna lie. The forest.
Kind of the forest vibe. Yeah.
If you see this guy in the forest, he's about to eat you, and you should run.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that one.
I do feel sorry for if that's like mental issues that's causing that.
Yeah, or is it performance art? I'm still unsure.
In Portland, you never know, but I would say I hope he gets the help he needs, but the government does not provide assistance for those people. So
yeah, if it's a mental health or performance art, either way, I hope he gets the help he needs.
All right, this says I always stay home. I always say this: if you take medication, stay home. What does this mean? Jesus.
I would get away from there.
Yeah, approaching the car.
This car person, the cameraman is way too close.
Also, what drugs are you on for that to happen? Like, I've taken a lot of drugs, never has that
I
been
feel
my
like I've seen this video before, and I feel like I have read context for it where the car has like one of those bars across the steering wheel that lets you not turn the wheel, and the person's trying to steal the car with that bar still attached, and so they can't actually turn the wheel, and they're just fucking up. But I don't know if that's actually true. That's just one of the last time this video surfaced.
Jesus, how many cars are they going to hit? Like, even if you're trying to steal the car, at that point you would know to bail, like, unless you're on drugs. Like, so I kind of buy this person's on drugs. Like, you're not going to be able to get away with a car with a wheel you can't turn. Just somebody said the NPCs are cracking. Just playing GTA in real life. That was crazy, though. Thank you, Yamster. That was not what I was expecting there, but wild video. We'll do 2 more videos, and then we'll do a giveaway, and then get into more videos. Says that dude was about to go flying. Oh my gosh, that's a person on this tree. I don't like.
This is like a fucking cartoon, dude.
I've seen these videos. It's gonna whip because the weight of it drops.
He's gonna Wile E. Coyote. Oh, what is he thinking?
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh, I hate that.
Oh my god, he's still holding on.
Who signs up for this job? Like, you got to be such a lunatic to want to do this. I'm super afraid of heights, so this is like you couldn't pay me any amount of money to do that, even if I could.
I feel like if you can hold on all the way to the end, that could be fun. But
that's not how.
Look at it go.
That's not what I would describe as fun. I would describe that as the most terrifying experience of my entire life. But
how long does it go? I mean, this is gonna take a while, right? It's still like so far.
He has to climb all the way down. Like, he shimmied up there, and then he's got to shimmy back down.
That's definitely fucking bananas, dude. They're going for a ride.
Thank you. What does it say? You pay coconuts, you get monkeys? I hope that guy's not paid in coconuts. Hope he's getting some real money. Your categories on crypto still. I should probably change that. People are enjoying this and be like, what does this have to do with crypto? Give me 1 second. Stream manager, add a stream info. We are just chatting, everybody. I guess technically we're giving away NFTs. That's kind of crypto related. Speaking of, we have Grubfish Royal Forum open, exclamation point neon, to win a Sune pack. All right. The wildest moment in NFL history. It looks like a mascot and a cheerleader. Let's see what happens.
It's always great when the mascots and cheerleaders get together. Whoa! Engulfed!
He ate her.
Not right.
That's like you know, that like that weird porn fetish where like animals eat people? That reminds me of that. It's always a wolf too. I feel like we've kind of stumbled into that fetish zone in our videos before at some point. All right, last call for the grubfish. We'll do another grubfish and then watch some more videos. But exclamation point neon. Also, thanks to everybody for hanging out. Thanks to all the people that rated in and stuck around. If you're not following, if you'd like to follow, we'd appreciate it. But if not, just thanks for hanging.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, this is fun.
I love Off the Rails. This is the day I wait for. I like the tech talks, but for me, watching these fun videos that the audience submits is legitimately like, I don't know. I like watching weird viral videos. I watch a lot of podcasts and comedy things that do this in my free time, so being able to do it with our community and have the users submit stuff is awesome. Look at all those backpacks and trails. Love to see it. Oh, that was a brutal one. There are people with multiple mythic trails and backpacks. We got some serious grubbers in the chat.
Oh, yep, there it is.
No!
Oh, and he's done.
Double mythic down. I was rooting for
mythic.
You, Chris.
You left a gold blood trail.
Oh, no. We only got a couple cosmetics left. I guess I can put the music on while we're... Only 4 remain. Who will end up being victorious? Odin pops down. Master A is down between Puzzler and Rising Dragon. Rising Dragon 7 is our winner. Congrats. Rising Nation. Got a new form going. We'll have this up for a while we do our off the rails like we have been doing. We've got a lot of videos on this channel. So thank you to all the people who've been submitting. It's a lot of Least Comic Standing and Yamster and Prince X Phoenix. I see we got some of the drama from that ukulele girl. I don't know how many people here follow YouTube drama, but
yeah,
the calling Ballinger stuff has been just friggin' absurd. Like the more that comes out about that story, the more she just looks like not going well for her. She's also starting to get like people are starting to cancel her shows. Are you asking why she did an apology video as in like what did she do wrong, or why did she think it was appropriate to sing an apology with the ukulele? Because I can tell you the first, can't tell you the second. The second part was pretty crazy, but she's basically accused of like grooming children. Like she was in a chat room with like a bunch of underage kids, and she was like asking them about their favorite sex positions and like sending porn to them and stuff, and just like very bizarre shit that adults should not be doing with children. And then her way to apologize that was saying that commentators are toxic for making fun of her, and it's all toxicness. Like she didn't take responsibility for anything. So she made like a 10-minute apology song just calling out people for being toxic and trying to monetize off of her mistakes instead of like taking any responsibility for it and saying what she did was wrong. And yeah, it didn't play well.
She did just a cringy little uke song.
And the more you look into it, like you find out that like her brother was actually straight up trying to groom children. Like her brother has on multiple times like been trying to be a pedophile, and they found out, and that's why they like keep him away from her audience and stuff. But like he was like reaching out to her fans and like asking if they could meet up to like 14-year-old kids and shit. And like I don't know, the whole situation, like the more you look into it, just gets sketchier and sketchier. But people have been making fun of the song because the song was just such a ridiculous way to like try to handle the controversy. Now she's getting like her shows are getting canceled, the venues are not letting her perform, and like her career is pretty much like toasted right now.
She did kind of do the main thing.
Like, she also could have just like tried to be like, yeah, I fucked up and should not have been doing this, but she tried to a little bit, but she didn't take any responsibility and like even really point out why what she was doing is wrong. She's just like, when I was younger, I tried to talk to my fans like they're my friends, and I might have crossed some lines. It's like, you definitely crossed some lines. Like you in a song, a ukulele song is not the way to like apologize about it. It's really like trivializing the whole thing, and it also sounds like children's music, so it just feels like super inappropriate given the context. All right, this was posted by who's this posted by? Least Comic Standing, I think.
Using crack and cocaine to get high. That's what.
I don't think we can play his music, but we'll watch this. He's painting his own face. What is going on with this guy? This is not how you use a paint gun. I do not work on the highway paint crew, and I can tell you this is not how you do it.
Maybe he got like that far into painting before the paint fumes got to his head, and then he just like
the paint fumes.
I was just tweaking.
I will say he looks like he's having an absolute blast. Like, good for this guy for having fun, but I'm not sure if that's the best use of government money.
He got pretty far before he let the paint fumes in. That's pretty good. That song was fun too.
Yeah, her team also told her not to talk about this in public, and she's like, they told me I could talk about it, but not sing about it. And then she sings her horrible song. Everything about that video is just like a train wreck of cringe and inappropriateness.
Yeah, that's pretty what a catastrophe. It's a train wreck you can't look away from. People love it. It's a drama.
They've been covering it on the H3 podcast though, and they've done like multiple hour longs. I'm watching the episode now where they're doing the PowerPoint about it that was on Monday, and it's like 2 hours of them talking about it. So I haven't gone through all of it yet, but I like this comment.
People love the drama.
Government job, he's getting a raise. The guy who's huffing paint fumes and like dancing, like,
Oh yeah,
that's the type of guy who's going to be working in management next year. They're loving what he's doing.
Supervising the whole team's going to be dancing next year.
This is a good point. I think you posted some stuff, and we might not even be able to play it because we might get copyright claim because she's now attacking people that are commenting on her song. So she's copyright claiming it, so people can't talk shit about her.
That's pretty funny.
I always wonder why more people don't do that when like they're getting made fun of in music context. You can just upload that shit to Spotify and auto claim anybody who uses the thing, so you can like retroactively make people take their shit down that were talking about you.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
Oh, I should this one, right? Oh, this is. Oh man.
That's so sad.
No, it's a duck.
That's so sad.
I'm swimming with a duck, a little baby duck.
Hannah, stop screaming. Oh, wait, what?
My favorite word. Hannah, stop screaming. I'm not while she's screaming.
Don't eat it.
Oh my god.
All the kids are like, ah!
That's tragic, but also that made me laugh a lot. That was pretty fucking funny.
This is such a crazy situation, yeah. The bear just
Why is
like
the duck
slowly
not like
playing
trying to
with
get away from the bear? Like, what's wrong with that duck?
it
The
might
duck was
be.
just like swimming into its mouth instead of flying away. Woodland Park Zoo,
Yeah,
though, that's
I think-
Washington, right? Shout out to our Pacific Northwest fan.
Yeah. The parent duck had a lot more sense to stay away from the bear, but the baby one wasn't old enough to have learned it yet, I guess.
I don't know who Hugh
Well-
Edwards is. Let's look it up. What's the news about Hugh Edwards, BBC presenter? Hugh Edwards, BBC News. Where is no criminality found by the police. His wife names him as in hospital as he named. What is happening? I don't know what the story is.
Wait, what's the story?
Let's read the article. I also thought you spelled Hugh wrong, like H-U-E, but his name is actually H-U-W. His wife said he was in the hospital with serious mental health issues as she named him as the presenter at the center of the allegations. What allegations? Oh, over claims he paid a young person for explicit images. It's another like child porn situation.
Oh, scandalous.
Yeah, it's just whack. But I guess he was found. Oh, they're resuming the investigation after police found no evidence, but the BBC is looking into it. Oh, sketchy. I watched that documentary about Jared from Subway, and that shit is so fucked up.
Yeah. It's absurd how like useless the police were in that one.
Are these all safe to post, Prince X Phoenix? I feel like after you sent us that YouTube video of some guy waxing his butthole, I was like, I don't know if we can even show this on stream, but
Waxing his butthole. You had to forward me that one.
it's in our
I'm
chat
always-
if you scroll up. I just removed the thumbnail. You can see his ball sack in the thumbnail, and it's a YouTube video. It's crazy. It's supposed to be an educational video about how to remove butthole hair, but because it's educational, they can get beyond the nudity. So it's just literally like a video of some dude like removing ass hair, but like you see his full taint
Okay.
and balls. It's like it's graphic.
And
I didn't
pretty
watch
good-
it. I was like,
good-
she's like, watch it. I was like, I
good.
can guess what this is gonna look like. I don't need to actually see it play out. I was also eating dinner at the time. It's not gonna pair
the
well with
best
my dinner.
time.
What is this?
I'm so sorry that I groomed a bunch of kids.
The slide whistle is about as serious as a. That's about as good as a ukulele for like choosing the goofiest instrument to apologize for that.
I feel like that version of it too was more of an apology than the actual video was. She
Yeah, it
actually
was.
said,
It
"I'm
was, like,
so
taking more
sorry."
responsibility.
That's pretty good.
This is Jimmy Lee, who's from H3. He says, point of view, you're a 13-year-old and this girl adds you to a group chat. That's a pretty good like shit post. Jimmy Lee is a horrible insult comic that Like he's just so bad at comedy that he's like cringeworthy that it's funny. Like he tries to do insult comedy and it's not funny. He just insults people. It's like, but he's a featured guest on the H3 podcast a lot. I feel like he doesn't understand how bad he is, and that's part of why it's funny. Is like he thinks he's killing it, but he's just doing really poor comedy. But this is all from the H3 universe. Let's see what this is. I think this is all Colleen related stuff. Oh no, this is from the OceanGate CEO found and released a statement from. I get it. They're saying that the guy who like that sub that went down to the Titanic that got sunk. They're saying like this guy should release a statement with the ukulele talking about like sorry that our sub got friggin' collapsed or whatever. That was also happening around the same time. All right, I'm gonna go watch some TV. Thanks for watching and hanging out, Priscilla. We'll probably be giving away a few more of your packs throughout the rest of the stream. That was a pretty weird situation. We haven't really talked about the Titanic thing, but it was definitely like when you look more into it, the guy who was leading the expedition was just like safety checks are not necessary. He's like a libertarian. And he's just like, yeah, we don't need to do that crap. And then like the sad thing though is like that I think his kid ended up dying because he like his kid wanted to go with him for Father's Day. So like a bunch of billionaires dying isn't like the worst thing in the world in my opinion. Although like it's still a tragedy. Like the more tragic thing is that like some kid that didn't even want to go on the trip and he was like telling his parents he's scared. He's like, I don't want to go on this. And then like he ended up going and dying and he was super young. So I'd say that was the most tragic thing about that. But I don't know, maybe don't fucking go in like non-safety checked submarines to go try to check out the Titanic. Like I know the whole thing was they're also trying to like they're trying to go get artifacts that would like raise the price of some stock for some shit that was like he owns a company that collects artifacts from the Titanic. So it was all to like pump his own bags, the whole expedition. So the whole thing was like based in greed and like
money grab. Yeah. That's batshit nonsense. What a crazy story. Like it is kind of cool though that as a private citizen you can have a type of vehicle that can, go to the bottom of the ocean.
So other one he sent, it's like Phoenix does not exist anymore. I don't know what this was. It was humans, no context, but it's too hot for the internet. I'm not going to do the Hassan one because I don't know if that's going to get us copyright claimed. But now we're on to Max's next video. We also got a Grubfish open. If anyone wants to enter, !neon. We are giving away the Sune San Diego 2023 promo packs. There's a blend open for those if you want to participate.
Oh, this is mine?
No fishing rod, try this. Last week you posted the most insane video of some kid like diving and catching a fish.
Yeah. This is one where I thought I could maybe do this.
Catching with a shirt? That's gonna happen? How are people so good at this?
Like, how many fish are in this fucking water?
Oh my god, you can see him jumping out of his shirt. How is that more effective than using that?
There's no way it's more effective. It's really bad at it.
It also makes me feel so shitty at fishing. Like, I've been fishing before and just sat out on like an ocean for like hours and not caught anything. This guy's just diving in and catching him in a shirt. I
love how they're still like in there, still flopping around.
Can you even eat those fish though? Those are pretty small fish.
I feel like you could probably, or you can use them as bait for bigger fish.
I did not watch Hassan in Japan. I honestly don't really keep up with all of Hassan's content. I mainly follow like Hassan has a podcast with Ethan called Leftovers on the H3 channel, and that's where I get most of my Hassan content from. But I don't really follow. He also streams so friggin' much. Like he streams like most days for like 4 or 5 hours, so it's very hard to keep up with all this content for me. But I do like a lot of Hassan's opinions on a lot of things. I think we even showed some of his, like he was talking about like crypto and NFT stuff on here, and I actually think he has like, I don't agree with him on all of it, but he actually has some pretty like good takes on crypto stuff where he's talking about how profile pictures are like Ponzi's and stuff. I was like, that's not wrong. Like, there are a lot of fair criticisms for NFTs, but he also, I don't think, has like the context of like the legitimate NFT projects. He's basically just pointing out the BS stuff, but there is a lot of BS, so like it's fair.
Yeah, he's not wrong for calling out the BS. So, and he also does caveat it with like, it's not all BS, but here's all the BS.
What is this? Telling my husband I got waxed by another guy.
Oh.
I feel like if it's his job to wax you, right? Like, that's fine.
I want you to hear this. This is funny. Okay. So I just got my Brazilian done, and it wasn't my usual girl. It wasn't the usual girl. It was a guy. His name was Paul, and
was it our Paul? Paul, do you wax people?
Yeah, right.
I didn't. I've never had it done by a guy before, so it was a little awkward at first. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he did a good job. So
yeah, I think so. I saw it. It was good. Really good.
Yeah. So I mean,
why do you keep looking at me like that?
Oh, you don't care?
About what?
That it was like a guy. Like, do you feel weird about that?
Oh, you know, say that again. Say that again, please. Say that again. No, please.
I was a guy that did my Brazil.
What? More testosterone in the room besides me? What's his name? What did you say his name was? What did you say his name was? Paul!
I think that guy had a fair reaction. That's like, I don't know, being upset that your like ladies doctor gynecologist is a man or something. It's like they're doing their fucking job. Like, I don't know, they're experts. But that guy had a very, very good reaction in my opinion, and then was a funny sport about it.
I feel like if you've ever had
to be like toxic about that.
I feel like if you've ever had your asshole like waxed, you would understand it as a non-sexual experience.
It's not a romantic experience. Same with like the gynecologist. I can't even fucking say the word, but like that's not like a romantic thing people are doing. Like,
yeah. Oh, here it is. Oh, that's so funny.
We can't play the song though because we'll get copyright claim. But somebody turned it into a Guitar Hero thing. That's pretty funny. I think I actually posted this in our actual chat, but I used to play Guitar Hero on PS2. I used to have a modded PlayStation 2, and there was a community of people who would make their own custom charts for songs. So you could download like copyrighted music and play like Stairway to Heaven and Guitar Hero and stuff. And it was actually really fun, but like that might be an actual legitimate Guitar Hero thing from that community. It might not actually be like a CGI thing.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
But if you want to go watch that video, you can watch it on your own time. I'm sure there's a bunch of versions on the internet if you just type in Colleen Balinger, but I don't know. It's super cringe, and also you can just find a bunch of people commenting on it. There's like a ton of internet commentators. Oh, I love Ilama.
Oh, it's Ilama.
Oh, no. Wow! Wow!
Oh! This guy rocks. He's wearing a Dogecoin friggin' like bathing suit and hitting a guy with. The funny thing too is he uses like face swap, so he could have just face swapped Mark Zuckerberg onto this guy's head, but instead he's using a friggin' like cardboard box. But Elon Musk, he's a hero. I think he might be. You might like him better than actual Elon.
Oh! Oh, no. Wow! Wow!
I'm actually all for. I don't give a shit about UFC, but I would watch the crap out of a boxing match between or a UFC match between
Elon and Zucker.
Who doesn't want to see? Who doesn't want to see a bunch of billionaires beat the crap out of each other? Like as a common man, like normally they make the common man fight in the Coliseum. We want to see friggin' the billionaires beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, dude.
I
want to see a real life version of Celebrity Deathmatch.
I have a pretty strong opinion on who would win that. Oh, poll's not going to work through this. I think Zuckerberg would win, like, no question. Zuckerberg's been training in martial arts for, like, multiple years, and he's won actual tournaments against people doing martial arts. So, like, he has training and shit, and Musk is bigger, but, like, I think he just recently started training. So if they're actually going to fight each other, like, you can't beat years of martial arts training, even if you're smaller. Like, I don't know, like
smaller,
somebody half my
faster.
weight
I
could
don't know,
kick my ass in
experience
martial
goes
arts.
a
They've been
long
doing
way.
it for years.
It's not going to happen anyway, Eric, because Elon's mom says no. He's not allowed to fight. She saved him.
I will make a poll just so we can see who'd win a fight, Elon Musk or Mark Zuck. The Zuck.
Oh, I feel like the Zuck, dude. The Zuck is gonna take down. I don't know. Well, I guess Musk has some like weight on him, so he's in the heavier weight class. But my money's on Zuck.
Somebody said that.
Like
somebody said that Elon Musk looks like he has the body of a refrigerator, and I thought that was pretty funny. Not funny to body shame people, but he does have a very like rectangle looking body. Like there's that one picture of him in like a bathing
Zuckerberg
suit.
is a robot, so he's like a straight up android. You know, like Dragon Ball Z style android.
I wonder if I can find. I posted it in there's a picture making fun of his body that I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, he does look kind of like he's a little chubby. They're also both like pretty fucking old at this point.
I swear I posted in our general, but maybe if I just type Musk.
It is too bad that there's not like a Google, an eccentric Google person. You know, like
yeah, let's do a 3-way cage mask. I'd love to throw somebody else in there.
I guess you could throw what's his face from Amazon in Bezos. He's kind of like a nutter. I feel like Bezos
could throw him in there.
I feel like Bezos versus Zuck is a better fight. That's like more evenly matched. I feel like they're more in like the same league, whereas Musk is like, you know, not really a threat in a fist fight.
Ooh, I think I might have found it. Because it happened because he was like trolling somebody else on there. Like he was trolling Bill Gates. Which I can pull that up. Since we're off the rails. Like Elon Musk said, in case you need to lose a boner fast. That was his
Oh.
So I feel like once he does that, it's totally okay to body shame Elon Musk because he's body shaming other people. So once you get in the fucking
what is that emoji? Is that like a pregnant man?
I don't know what that emoji is, to be honest.
I don't think I have that emoji in my phone. Did Elon Musk commission a custom emoji to make fun of Bill Gates?
Elon Musk like is in like 4chan fucking threads where he just reposts that shit. Like he's got weird cringe memes that he's into. See if I can find. I swear I posted. There were like response to that somebody gave.
I could see Elon Musk being on 4chan.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Elon.
I don't even know how to find it either. Like, be like Elon Transformer or something.
Crypto market climbing. Oh, let's go. Bitcoin. It's over 31,000.
I wish I could find this image. It made me laugh pretty hard. Somebody like took that video. Oh, here it is. I found it. Hell yeah. All I have to type is Elon Musk Transformer. It's not even like what it is, but I feel like it's fair game again because we showed him body shaming someone. So I don't believe in body shaming people, but I thought this shit was hilarious. The Tesla torso. This picture does just look crazy too.
That is a very
Tom from
unflattering
MySpace is everybody's friend. Nobody wants to see Tom get beat up. Tom also sold MySpace at a good time. That dude is like the winner at social media. Like he dumped that shit. He sold MySpace to corporate people before MySpace died. So like think Tom has played the social media game better than like any of the creators. Got the fuck out of there before it collapsed.
Yeah. He's like the guy from BlackBerry who sold all his shares at the top and just walked away right before the iPhone came out.
Okay, now I'm not sure where we left off in Off the Rails. We'll do a couple more Off the Rails videos and then a giveaway, and maybe we'll call it a stream. We can go for a while. I don't know if we've seen this, so we might.
Oh, dude, Tom was my first friend on MySpace too. Me and Tom were tight way back in the day. Although he never reaches.
He's in my top. He's in my top 5. Okay, we already watched this one. Got close to where we were. Thank you, Yamster, for that one though. I love Elon Ma. So.
Elon Ma. I gotta follow Elon Ma.
Money.
Give to you.
This looks like it's gonna be fabulous. Whatever this is. Can't play music, but this guy is working it. Working that friggin' stove. He's like cooking on. This is like a street market like vendor where they like cook stuff in front of you. But he's. I don't think we can play the music, but he's dancing to music while cooking. He's getting his groove on. Looks like those are like might be shrimp or something. I also like the picture up there of him just looking super glamorous. I would definitely go to his booth over the other booths. If this is the entertainment.
Yeah, dude. That's dinner and a show. I really want to go to one of these like Asian like food markets and just have some food cooked. Like just stop by every
like
little.
You need
like
a.
Try something.
I feel like you need some sort of a guide though, because like I don't know. Yeah. I'm not familiar with the cuisine, so I like. Because I've watched like on Top Chef and Master Chef, they always like sometimes they'll have they have like the final episode in a different country than all the other episodes, and they'll like take people out into the night markets, but they have like a guide who's like, okay, try this one from here, this one from here. And I feel like you need someone like that can like. So I wouldn't know even what to order at these places because I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Don't do it. I don't know. I definitely want to go.
There's a 626 night market not too far from LA. I don't know what that is, but it piques my interest.
We've been there a bunch of times. Marcy is loud there, so we'll just walk around and get a couple things. There's like a ramen spot. There's like a few like Mexican spots.
There's a tampon.
Hey, he loving it. Look at the bitch. He loving it.
Oh, it's a pad.
Dog is loving it on Insane Cut.
What is it?
It's like a tampon pad coming out of her butt.
Oh.
This pad is head. Oh, babies. Oh, cook. Kissing the bitch. All in her mouth. On 2, 3. I done seen it all. Oh, baby.
How far is he from me here?
I feel like he's too close to be like talking so loud. I think he's trying to like get a rise out of them more than anything.
Like, they're just like, I don't know. That's Vegas. People get so fucked up and like make out in the street of Vegas. They don't give a fuck.
I feel like that's just a sweet little moment. The hanging tampon pad is kind of, or whatever, not tampon. The hanging like pad is whatever. That looked like a fun little.
Yeah, maybe they're not drunk and they're just deeply in love, but I just assume everybody's day drunk in Vegas. Hope we just watch this one.
You ought to be. Okay, he may be pretty far away. Maybe he's just zoomed way in. It starts out pretty far away.
They're also standing outside of a daiquiri bar, which is part of my
yeah. If you don't want to be like in public, then go in public.
Oh my gosh, that's a big woman to be getting on a motorcycle.
Rocky. Oh, dude, there's like barely any room on that back.
Oh.
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen.
That shouldn't have been as funny as it was for how predictable it was, but I still lolled.
Yeah.
The hamster, you're killing it today. Or not even today, but with all these off the rails videos.
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. We tried to fucking ride a bike, like not like quite as chubby people, but like me and Paul tried to ride the same bicycle in Germany, like because we didn't have an extra bike because we picked up one of my dad's friends, and like it was physically not gonna work, like because we're just two fucking chubby dudes on this small little bike, and then like. A cop like pulled up next to us as we're trying to do this, and the guy in German is just like, "Hey man, like what physically won't work, you probably shouldn't try to do. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
You just got called fat by a cop in Germany.
Pretty much, yeah. He was like being cheeky about it, but yeah,
I feel
he's like,
have you guys
yeah.
also lost weight since then? I feel like you both have lost weight since then.
Yeah, we were both a little chubbier, but even now, I feel like two full-grown men on like a single like small bicycle isn't gonna happen.
You're also just a big dude in general. Like even when you're not like overweight, you're a large-framed, large person, tall.
Yeah, I'm not like crazy overweight right now, and I weigh 255 pounds. That's just me.
You definitely. I don't know what your like max was, but you and Paul both like at one point lost a bunch of weight because
yeah, my max weight was 320. I was at 320.
So you're down a lot. 70 pounds. That's a shit ton.
Yeah, I was much heavier. Even then, I wasn't like crazy fat. I was just more. I was definitely chubby. Yeah, I was pretty fat. I was pretty chubby, pretty chunky. I look good fat though, so it's good.
Was one of you on the handlebars? How are you even trying to fit? Or is it like a 2-person bike? Is that what you're saying?
No, it was like in Germany, a lot of the bikes will have like a little like thing above the back wheel where you would like clip your backpack to or something. I was trying to like sit on that.
Oh, it's like the thing where you put your bag when you're on grocery shopping and stuff.
Yeah, so like someone was basically sitting on the back tire, and it was like it's like
that's not gonna
crushing the back. Yeah, it wasn't gonna work.
There is a critically acclaimed, widely taught children's book I was forced to read 9 million times, Tiki Tiki Tembo. The first sentence of that book is, there once was a Chinese boy named Tiki Tiki Tembo. No saw Rembo, cherry berry ruchi, pip berry pembo. No, there wasn't. I have a Chinese brother. His name is Kevin. And when this white author was confronted about it, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't speak Chinese. I just wrote down what I heard my neighbor say. So we're going to do a group experiment where I'm going to say real Chinese. And then at some point, I'm going to switch to not quite Chinese. But I won't tell you when. You tell me when. 你好，我的名字是吴君怡，我很喜欢吃西瓜，而且你有听说这本书叫 Tiki Tiki Tembo, No Soul Rumbo, Cherry Berry Tea, Ching Chong Ling Fong Ling Yang.
That's a pretty good one.
That was solid. Yeah.
Thank you for the follow, Walk the Grid.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that one.
We also got a grubfish in the background, exclamation point neon, and your wallet name if you'd like to join. I don't remember that book personally, but Yamster says
I don't either. I have a book that I feel like I can't show it because Paul is going to be mad at me if I do. But it's a German book, and it's like a German, like the book with like it's basically like the N-word in German. It's like 10 little N words, but it's like a child's nursery rhyme book, and it's legit from like the 20s and kind of awesome. I just don't think I should show it.
Yeah, that might be breaking some sort of terms of service.
Yeah. It's also in German, so it's not quite as like hateful sounding, but it's not great.
Reminds me of that video where some guy gave a kid Mein Kampf because he asked for Minecraft. That's one of the most ridiculous videos I've seen like on the internet.
Minecraft. He's like, no.
I feel like that had to have been a joke, but if that was serious, that's so fucking funny.
That'd be the ultimate like mix-up.
Prince Xfina says we're in the 20s now. You got to specify in the 1920s.
I guess so. The 1920s, yeah. It's like an old nursery rhyme. If you speak German, I feel like you would know what I'm talking about.
Tiki Tiki Tembo.
Zehn kleine, and then there's another word.
Let's look up Tiki Tiki Tembo. Yeah, I've never heard any Asian people speak like Tiki Tiki Tembo in any languages. Let's see. Reception. The book received accolades. Oh, wow. It won the 1968 Boston Globe Horn Book Award.
Oh.
In 1997, it was selected as one of the 59 children's books of the previous 50 years.
Damn.
And it wasn't until, I guess, more recently that it was criticized.
It's more recently that people actually paid attention to the criticism.
Oh my God, the background is... I don't even know if I can say that. It started out being very, very racist.
Yeah, I guess the other part of that criticism is that, you know, those books and that like piece of literature is a product of its time. It's not like it was released today. So like grilling the like ancient person who wrote it today and being like, what were you thinking? Is just like, I was thinking what everybody was thinking at the time when I wrote it. Like I was thinking, you know, progressively for my era. So I feel like it needs a little asterisk, some of these things.
I don't know, maybe
also,
their intent was to like introduce like Asian culture to Americans, and maybe they were actually trying to do a good thing and it just came out racist as shit. Hard to say their intent.
Right. Yeah, it
But then
came out
also-
racist as shit because society was racist as shit. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, kind of tracks. That makes sense.
It's definitely
Not
weird.
all
Though.
their
Definitely
fault.
didn't age well.
That's
I can
individual.
at least say that much.
No, that's for sure.
Disney definitely has a bunch of weird subliminal sexual stuff where like there'll be like one frame where the Little Mermaid's naked if you pause it at the right time, and like because the animators had to draw like that was back before you had computers. You had to draw every single frame by hand, so they'd probably get bored as fuck drawing the same characters over and over. And every once in a while, they'll just do a nude version of the character and throw it into the friggin' release. That was also before, you got to remember, like back when Disney films were coming out, that was before there was like even VHS and stuff. So like nobody was able to pause a movie in the movie theaters. Like they would probably never expected people to be able to like pause a single frame when there's like 24 drawings per second or whatever, you know. But
yeah,
not to
I don't
excuse
know.
it,
There's definitely some like questionable innuendo stuff, but I feel like it's funny, and like the kids don't see it, so it's
yeah,
for
that
the
doesn't bother
adult
me as
where
much
they're-
as I guess like
yeah, it's like it's for
blatantly
the
racist
adult
children's
who's
stuff.
taking their kid to the movie, and I'm like, I more appreciate it than I'm like offended by it when I see that kind of stuff, where it's like, oh, nice, it's like, ha, and that guy's got a boner or something like that, you know. It's just like your kid's not gonna notice.
All
I
right,
don't know.
this looks like a bear is about to get in a car. Let's see what happens.
Oh,
my gosh,
no.
she opened the door.
Honk the horn. Honk the horn. Honk the horn. Oh my
Lock
god.
the door.
No.
What horn?
Oh.
Can you not lock your
Brett,
car?
honk
What
the
is going
horn.
on here?
Oh, he's gonna tear up their car. Brett, honk the horn.
Oh my god!
Oh
is
my
he
god,
in
he's
the
in the
car? And he shut the door. What is?
Oh my god.
Do bears have
weird.
opposable thumbs? What is going on here?
Oh shit.
How did he open the door?
That's what I'm saying. Like he
Oh
He
no.
opened it with
dropped
the
it
handle.
and then
Like,
opened
Honk the
it
horn.
again.
Honk the horn.
Look at that. It's like
this
all the way
cocaine
closed.
bear. This dude's fucking amazing.
Oh my god. No.
It's a very small bear too.
Oh. Brett, honk the horn. Oh, he's gonna tear up their car. Brett.
That is wild, though. That's a cool video.
You should have hit the panic button on that fucking car instead of just like, I don't know. You know that one that
What's
makes the
happening
horn and
there is
the
that's
lights go
not their
crazy?
car. They're in another car behind that car trying to tell the people that. How are you sitting in your car and you don't notice a bear is coming into it? Like, what's going on there?
There's no way there's someone else
Uh-oh.
in the car.
This looks like it's about to be a dog humping the
a
shit out of the
follow-up?
steering wheel. Oh my god.
What the fuck are you
He's just
doing?
humping the air? Maybe he just likes the sound.
Wow.
That didn't even seem like
Redheaded
sexual.
again.
Oh, and he looks so like he did the wrong thing.
Guilty, dude. Busted. Caught in the act.
He knows when the door opens immediately. He's like, uh-oh.
What the fuck are you doing?
I love when dogs know they like did something they shouldn't be doing and they just look all guilty. Look how sad he looks. Dogs are
He's
so
so
good. That's like
guilty.
an evolutionary trait they have is they're very good at looking like sad to make humans give them stuff. But like apparently that didn't happen before humans. Like if it's just with wolves, wolves don't like act sad in the wild. It's they've learned that their masters will give them treats and stuff. So like dogs use human emotions against them because it's like evolutionary learned by them.
Yeah, dogs also will ask for help, whereas like wild animal, I guess wild animals do sometimes, but dogs will like try something and then like if they can't do it, they'll like go get their like human to help them do it, which is
we just watched
adorable.
I think this one might have been removed, but Eric Yo sent this one a couple of days ago on July 4th, actually. Oh no, it's actually here. Oh my gosh, this looks like some sort of a pinata. This guy's gonna get hit in the nuts, right? Like,
Oh,
there's no
for
other
sure,
way these
dude.
videos end.
What is he thinking, standing like that?
Oh!
That was a good cut too. Good edit. Those huskies are so fucking vocal all the time. I've seen so many videos of huskies just like yelling at, like they'll just argue back with their humans. Just like very vocal dogs. Marcy only barks when people walk by.
Says a woman turns an $80 ticket into a
I
felony
did
charge.
issue for a defective equipment. It's $80. You have till September 16th to take care of this. Get you to sign there with the Exodus.
So you don't even give a warning for this?
You've been driving around for 6 months like that.
I'm truthful.
Well, I'm not going to give you a warning for something you've been driving for 6 months.
Well, I don't want to sign it because I don't want to do $80.
You don't want to sign it?
No, because I don't think that I deserve to pay $80 for something that is fixable and I can fix it.
All right.
That's all you want.
Go ahead,
to do.
step out of the car.
Why?
Because you're under arrest. Step out.
At that point, I'd be like, I'll sign it.
Yeah.
She should change her tune real quick.
Step out of the vehicle. Step out.
Oh,
Step
she's
out.
doubling
I'm
down.
giving you a lawful order. Step out.
You be fair with me and I'll be fair with you.
Step out.
No.
You're under.
That's not how the law works.
What?
You can't just
He
make up
was
your own
very
rules.
fair, I feel like.
She's black. She would have been shot already. Like you can't do that.
Arrest.
No, I'm not.
I'm placing you under arrest. Step
You
out.
are full of because
I like how he's talking to her like she's a toddler. He's like, step out.
Do
Come
not
on.
take
shut
off.
up and give me that and I'll sign it.
Step out.
No.
We're beyond that. Step out.
Oh shit!
No.
It's getting real. This is like
Oh,
you used to have to
no.
watch Cops on Fox on Channel 13 to get this sort of stuff. Now it's just on Twitter. Let's go. You remember that show? Like Cops used to be like on all the fucking time on TV, and I feel like
It did,
it's not
yeah.
even a thing anymore because you can just see it on YouTube and Twitter.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Oh, it got real
Get
serious.
out of the car.
This escalated quickly.
Get out of the car.
He's still like,
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
You better leave me.
what?
Oh,
Put your hands behind your
doing?
back. Put your hands behind your back. Now.
all right. I feel like we've seen enough of this. Moral of the story is
All
pay your
right.
$80 ticket and don't fight with cops.
Jesus Christ. That got way out of hand.
I bet she wishes. Oh, he tases her. Okay, we'll go for the tase.
Okay. Oh,
I will say, like, if you're physically fighting with a cop, what do you think is going to happen?
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Lay down and put your hands behind your back. Now. What hurts?
got her.
Everything.
All right, I got you.
Everything.
I tried to kick you because I'm a country girl. Because no, I
And
didn't
you
like
got
Because I'm a country girl.
Okay, that was funny.
I'm
feel like,
glad we stuck around for the end there.
That $80 ticket could have avoided a lot of shit.
Damn, dude. She's a country girl, though. Shit. That was a
People just think
good,
they're
like,
above the law.
ration. She really rationalized it still at the end. She's just like, because I'm a country girl, like that was unavoidable.
What does this say?
What are you
Fill
gonna
in
do?
the blank. Dr. Brady is my.
A black person in my chair not too long ago
I feel like this is not going to end well.
Okay, good start.
called me the N-word. More specifically, he called me his N-word. You my N-word. It's never happened to me before. Never had a black person, definitely not at work.
I feel like this is the whitest way to talk about this too.
Yeah, okay. You're making it weird. But go on.
For sure. I don't think any time in my entire life has that ever happened. At the same time, he puts his hand out like this. You my N-word. Puts his hand out, and then my hand goes into his. So imagine one of these hands is black.
Is this guy like, does he not understand this is a term of endearment? Like, why is he breaking this down like this?
Yeah, it's like, dude,
And the hands come
we've had this
together.
interaction before.
It felt like a sonic boom was created. This warmth entered my body.
My first high five.
And I felt like we solved racism.
My God, this is a hilarious video.
Yeah,
You
that's
say,
pretty
I
good.
think we solved racism.
Oh yeah.
Let's roll that back.
And I felt like we solved racism.
Yeah.
Just right then and there. Like
This goes for another 2 minutes. Where does it go from here? Because this is already starting off the rails.
Yeah.
it was like everything's okay. We are cool AF. We're good. That's what it felt like. What did I do for him? I rushed his crown. So crowns normally are a 10-day turnaround, and he was traveling and had some commitments. Like, I got to have that sooner. And I was like, let me make a phone call. Have it back to you in 3 days. You my boom, hand clasp, sonic boom, racism solved. So
I can't tell if this guy's joking at all or if this is 100% serious. I feel like this is 100% serious.
He's doing a pretty good straight like delivery of it.
But who like imagine this happening to you and thinking you need to share this on TikTok. Like, that's the weirdest part about this whole video. It's like it can just happen, man.
now I'm his ride or die. And I don't think he knows that. So black people, you want a ride or die white person, call him your N-word. It comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. Because now I'm not going to say the N-word. But I'm thinking about it.
This is getting juicier.
I'm thinking about it. I shouldn't even be thinking about that. But I am thinking about it. And I know I shouldn't. But it's like you get into a club that you're never going to get into normally.
If one person says it to you, you do not have the pass, my guy. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
But someone vouches for you, so you're in there. Now, you're in the club, but that doesn't mean you can act like a fool when you're in the club. You can't do that. You'll get kicked out of the club and never invited back. So I'm in the club, and I'm so excited, like I just don't know if I can behave myself. So that's the cost. But man, does it feel good. It might be the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Definitely in my career. For sure. Oh, you're a fellow for the American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry? Oh, that's a nice certificate. Have you ever had a black person call you their N-word? No?
This is an amazing video. This is the most, he says this is the best thing that's ever happened to him in his entire life.
Yeah, keep working. Keep working hard. You'll get there. Trust me. Just keep working hard. It's the pinnacle of accomplishment. I don't even care about anything else. That's all I want. I want that more. What's the only thing better than having that happen once? Have it happen twice. So I think that means I have to rush crowns for all my black patients. Is that racist? I don't care. I'm chasing that feeling. I'm sorry.
This is an amazing video. Shit.
I don't care. I'm chasing that feeling. I'm solving racism one rushed crown at a time.
My God.
All right.
What a video.
That was a good bit. I don't know if it was a bit, but he did a good job delivering it, and I enjoyed his whole
take
take
now
on
some white guy's going to say
Biden.
it to him and completely ruin his vibe. Some of the top comments.
Yeah. Damn. That's pretty
That was like
fun,
surprisingly wholesome though. Like, I feel like that could have gone way worse at any point.
As funny, I feel like he's doing a bit though, right?
I feel like he
I
was
feel like he
so like into that like he wasn't, but also like there's no way
Right.
you can actually think that's solving racism. Like, you have to be a lunatic.
No, yeah, I feel like at least that part of it is a bit.
I enjoyed the video either way.
I did too. TikTok cringe. Top TikTok cringe. Although I feel like they're pretty liberal with the use of the word cringe for that subreddit.
I think this is from Mark. Let's see.
Oh my.
Yeah, Mark hasn't posted in a while. This is stupid food.
Let's see what Mark's into.
Your head on my
I don't know if we can play his music. What is this?
Damn, dude.
It's
This
the
is what
Donut
Mark
Daddy
watches.
is his name. I think it's just a rip dude getting like way too into making donuts. Is this supposed to be sexual for people though? Like, are people into this?
This definitely has like some sex appeal to this donut.
Donut Daddy, let's go.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
So this is what Mark
Cover
watches
that.
in his free time, apparently.
Damn.
That actually looks delicious, though. I'd eat that.
I mean, it's hard to fuck up a donut.
All right,
Plus,
though,
that
follow
guy's a
at the
hunk.
Donut Daddy if you want some weird erotic donut making videos. Let's see if there's any good comments. I think this guy wants to fuck himself as the top comment. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that tracks.
First response to that is his favorite porn website is probably a mirror.
Yeah.
And somebody says Patrick Bateman. It's like, yep, those vibes are good.
Yep. That's the vibe I was getting to. But good donuts.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do one
Also,
more video,
I ain't heard-
and then we'll do a simulation for our grub, and then we'll end this because we've been going for like 3.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
It's almost 7 p.m. I gotta eat dinner. I haven't eaten yet today. Last one. Unless this is not a good one. If it's not a good one, we'll keep going. But I feel like this will be a good one. Let's see. Forever 21. Meanwhile, at the gallery. Oh my god, he's just feeling the breasts of a fucking. What?
All right.
He's wearing headphones. Oh, somebody's like holding their kid and walking away from him. That guy's just really
That's too
enjoying
funny.
himself, though. He's just having a good day at the mall.
He's gotta
All right,
get that
last call for
mannequin.
Grubfish.
That mannequin game tight.
Maybe we'll do some more of these tomorrow too, because we got a lot of them. Like we still probably have like 20 left after that. We didn't do it last week because we had like all the OIG stuff going. Also might do another interview. We had Agent K hit me up. Agent K wanted to promote some stuff. He had a couple projects. He does like the non-fungible lottery. He does
Oh yeah.
Thanks for watching, Odin Pops. We appreciate it. We hope you make your day at work a little bit better.
Nice. Crushing it. On the job.
Kafer says go vote. I personally voted for Kafer. I honestly think Anders Onierdas, or however you say his name, the I Make Stupid Game Anders, I also think he's qualified, but I would not want Kafer out of the OIG position personally. He's like the OG OIG. He's the first elected one. There were some appointed before Kafer, but he's the first publicly elected one, and he's been around since before Wax was on the main net. He was in like all the social groups before that. He's super knowledgeable, super helpful. If you ever hit him up on Telegram, he always responds, and he knows just everything. So I can't think of a better candidate. I do hope Anders runs again because I do think getting some fresh blood in there could be nice. But I personally voted for Kafer, but I think either of the two candidates are good. And I think it's just fun to exercise your right to vote on the blockchain. So go vote. And you can claim some free NFT drops. Several people have made like I voted stickers that you can get. So if you like free NFTs, consider voting. And yeah, maybe Yamster will do some more tomorrow. Tomorrow we don't really have anything planned. That's kind of our gaming day. I sort of want to play some Battle Dit, but I don't know. We'll figure out something to do tomorrow. We get the website to you, Ennio. We also had a good discussion with some blockchain producers on Tuesday. It was super technical, but the video's on demand if anybody's interested in super technical. Like, oops, this is the wrong one. This is the tool.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is public, but this is how I find like scammers on Wax. The Wax Memo Explorer. You can see the deposit memo, and anybody that deposits to the exchange using the same deposit memo, you can link all their Wax accounts. But it doesn't really help you find people until after they've scammed people. So it's like you can maybe track it to people, but like it's only after the damage is done, unfortunately. But that's a super useful tool. Any observation also makes great tools. But he was one of our guests on the blockchain producer panel. US Sweden or Wax Sweden now. It seems like they really have their shit together too, based on like I don't know. It's fun hearing his differences between Michael from US USA as well. Like they had difference of opinions on a bunch of stuff. So it was cool to see that like the blockchain producers is not some club where they all agree on everything. They all have like pretty different ideas of how to do stuff. And I thought that was actually refreshing, like to see that they have differences of opinions and it wasn't just all the same. Then Mike is totally different. Not Mike USUSA, but Mike D from WaxDAO, his whole thing is like he rents all this equipment and he doesn't even own the stuff. So like the other two guys own large buildings they own all the hardware. So it's cool seeing the different perspectives, but there's also a lot. I understood like 30% of the conversation when they're talking about like the technical specifics of stuff.
Yeah, I liked all that technical stuff. Was fun. It's cool to see like what it takes to like put this all together, because using the Wax blockchain does feel pretty seamless once you have your account set up. Most of the time.
And
it's cool though.
Let's see, here's a link to our Discord community. If you like those kind of funny off the rails videos we've been posting and you want to contribute, we take user submissions. Max and Paul post some, but I honestly don't even really post any. It's mostly from like our community. So if you like that sort of stuff, like we appreciate if you contribute. There's a private channel in our Discord for people that do contribute. So just let me know and I'll give you the role to see that channel, and then you'll be able to post, and then we go through each week and just go through everything everybody posted, assuming they don't get taken off the internet. And again, the one thing is we can't play copyrighted music, so I appreciate it if you let me know if there's copyrighted music in the video. Just like let me know next to it, mute the volume, but we'll play pretty much whatever, assuming it's not breaking the terms and service of Twitch. And honestly, I don't watch them beforehand to vet them, so we'll probably play it either way. Oh yeah, let me link my Discord on YouTube. Sorry. We have a chat bot that does it on Twitch. I always forget that people watch our YouTube. We're mainly on Twitch. But I think you were also, Fenris, I think you were asking us about liquidity pool stuff. Max is active in our Discord, and like he said he has difficulty watching our 2-hour videos. They're just too long for the tech stuff. So if you have any specifics about that, like definitely hit us up in Discord. Max is more than happy to walk people through how to do any specific actions. And also we were considering making an update, because our last video on Wax DeFi was like when DeFi Box first launched. So we're talking about like automated market making on DeFi Box. And there's a whole new thing. So I think it would be worth considering making a more like 30-minute or less video on how to use liquidity pools and Wax stuff. But we'll consider making that in our off time.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's a good one. Nice.
Yeah. We're also very active on Discord, so never feel free or never be afraid to ask us. And like if you have a question and you can't make it on Tuesday, ask us in the Discord. We'll answer it on Tuesday, and then you can watch the video on demand. But we're pretty happy to like cover whatever y'all think is important, because our tech talks are really for you, not for us, because we understand the stuff pretty well. So we don't want to just talk to stroke our own egos, and we don't love the sound of our own voices. So if there's something you specifically want to know about, definitely let us know, and we'll structure like an entire tech stream around it. So just let us know.
Yeah.
You were asking if I spoke Polish. I do not. I'm a fake Pole. My mother's mother, my grandma, was Polish, so I'm of Polish descent, but I don't know anything about Polish culture or my heritage. My mom's mom died before I was born, so I really know nothing about like my Polish ancestry, or even if I have current relatives living in Poland, I know nothing about that. So even though I identify as Polish, like the story behind that is like when I was in 5th grade, all of my group of friends chose like their heritage and then their name for their AOL Instant Messenger name. So we had like Irish lad, Chinese boy, like, and I ended up going with Polish dog. It was like, oh, I'm Polish, and like, what up, dog? Like, you're the man now, dog. That was like a cool thing back then. So I don't know. It was just like an arbitrary thing I chose as my AOL Instant Messenger name in like 5th grade, and I just have never changed my screen name since then. So I've been Polish dog 90 for like many years.
I'm trying to think of
my mom's maiden name was Zod, and Zot is a Polish name, so I've always kind of like identified as that to remember my heritage, because the Polish side of the name gets lost when you marry a man with like a German name or an English name. And my last name is actually Scottish, Ramsey, and I'm not Scottish at all. And that's because my German last name was like Onions, and it sounded too close to onions. And I guess my ancestors were embarrassed of it, so they changed it to Ramsey arbitrarily, even though we're 0% Scottish. So I feel pretty disconnected from my actual last name. So.
I don't even know that much about my whole name going on. I should look into it.
The Funka,
yeah.
I've only met one other person with your last name, and he played bass, and I thought it was super sick. I was like, oh yeah, Funk on the bass.
Funk on the
He's
bass.
the bassist in the jazz band at Eastside Catholic High School, which I went to for 1 year.
Oh.
I also very much enjoyed Polish dogs. Like that used to be my go-to order at Costco, but that's not why I named myself Polish dog. But I did like the Polish dogs. Rest in peace at Costco, because you could get a hot dog or a Polish dog, but they removed Polish dog from the menu. So, boycott Costco. Just kidding. The hot dog deal still rocks, but it's also a fun double meaning because it means hot dog, and then also that's not really what I meant it for. But we're considering making like a Polish dog character. So we're trying to I don't know, the Neon Space brand doesn't have a character. So we're trying to make a character for each one of us. Like maybe make Mark into like a pizza maker, like a chef, make me into a hot dog, and then make Max into like a couch with eyes and a mouth. I still like the Max couch idea. Like each pillow can be an eye and the crack in the couch can be your mouth. And then we can eventually maybe make toys out of them, like 3D print toys and stuff, because we're trying to get into collectibles. But we really need I don't know, we do a lot of pop culture stuff, and we can't just be minting Ninja Turtles with pizza and stuff in real life. We can't be selling other people's IP necessarily, not as large scale runs. We could maybe do like that Tricks box you got is pretty sick, and that's definitely parody. But I don't think you can do large scale runs of that sort of stuff. So eventually I would like to turn Polish dog into a wax character, a Neon Space character, and then you could get a Polish dog toy, and that way if we do collabs with other brands and stuff, because I've been talking to Six Big Glitch about it. He's like, oh, I'd like to put you guys in our game. What do you want to look like? And I was like, I definitely if Polish dog from Neon Space is in Tourist Station, I want you to be able to run around as a hot dog with arms and legs. I just think that'd be fun. But
yeah,
so hopefully we had that idea a year ago and then just never went into it. But hopefully we can figure something else out, especially when we start getting more into physicals and stuff. It'd be cool to have our version of Freddy Funko, because Funko's got Freddy, but I feel like every brand needs their original character that then the Polish dog can dress up in all the outfits of the different brands. If we do collabs, if we do a chummy collab, it can be a horse and a hot dog bun or something. I don't know, but then we can start playing with making our version of other stuff. But we need a brand character to be able to do that, which is something we've been severely missing as people that are making collectibles. Is we don't really have a brand character. That's also the goal eventually. My honest, saying people are ripping IPs left and right. My honest first thing I think we should do for the more legal way is take a public domain IP. Pinocchio just became public domain in the last 4 or 5 years. So we were thinking we could make Pinocchio Neon Space stuff, and you could actually sell that on a t-shirt. You could actually make a Pinocchio toy because it's now public domain. So I think Winnie the Pooh also became public domain somewhat recently. So I feel that would be our way to branch into legally doing IP, but eventually we would love to be able to pay for IP and do actual collabs, because that is the meta for expanding your collectible brand. The reason everybody knows about Funko is any nerddom you've ever liked has Funko. Do you like Star Wars? Do you like Marvel? Do you like sitcoms like The Office or Always Sunny? They all have Funko. So that's really grand scale. That's what we would love to do to expand our audience, but we would also like to do it legally. We're not trying to just fly by night, especially once you start going to conventions, because the Marvel folks are actually at conventions. The people who make Ninja Turtles are at conventions. So if we start ripping their shit off and having booths at conventions, we might get in trouble. So it's a little okay in the NFT space. It's more like the Wild West. I also do think our stuff is parody. The whole thing about IP is you can't trick people into thinking they're buying if you buy our Ninja Turtle thing, you can't think this was made by the Ninja Turtles, which our thing is cut my life into pizza. It's clearly not an official Ninja Turtle merchandise. It's not trying to trick people into that. So I do think we're kind of okay, but I also would like to kind of start branching into more, I don't know, more legitimate collabs and stuff. But we got a long road ahead of us for that. We still haven't even been to our first convention yet. So eventually we'll get into that, but we're still kind of novice at the collector space. And we got into the collector space more through Wax than Max has some toys and stuff he collected, but I collect vinyl and musical instruments and musical equipment, but I never collected collectibles until Wax. My first Funko Pop was redeemed on Wax. So I'm still kind of new to all this stuff and figuring it out, which is, one way to run a brand is start the brand first and then learn how to what the customers want from that. But we're figuring it out slowly and surely, the Neon Space way. But we're not going anywhere. We're going to keep building on Wax. We've been selling stickers. We're going to start making enamel pins, hopefully after our profile picture drop. We're going to raise the money for our next physicals. So if we can make a couple $1,000s dropping NFTs, we're going to reinvest all that money into making a full redeemable drop for Neon Space. So there'll be multiple different like magnets for redeeming stuff. And hopefully you'll be able to get pins or stickers. And then we're hoping after that to eventually parlay that into making LED neon signs that are like desk sized. So you can get little like lava lamp stands with neon signs on them. That's really what we want to do end game. And we think that'd be super sick. But financially speaking, it costs way too much money to manufacture that compared to how much we make. So we need to start making money at conventions to be able to reinvest the convention money into better stuff for conventions. So it's a long road ahead of us of reinvesting in ourselves. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, we are artists on Wax, and that's kind of our main thing. We don't just watch funny fail videos on Twitch, which we love doing. We love hanging with the community, but we would eventually like to make kick-ass collectibles and be profitable. But for now, we're just going to reinvest everything into better collectibles. So when you buy from us, know that you're buying into the future of Neon Space for us to provide better stuff for you in the future, not so much that we're cashing out. We did cash out like once last year, and we actually kind of regret it because now we're like, we need money to do stuff that we don't have. So we've kind of all decided like we're not going to be taking paychecks from Neon Space. So we'd much rather reinvest the money from Neon Space into better stuff for Neon Space. So
yeah,
it's what we've been working on. And yeah, Sune figures. Priscilla has been super valuable for like teaching us about the physical game because I don't know what I'm doing. She taught us where to get our stickers. I was about to make a card or like showing her card deck stuff, and she's like, "Oh, you're paying double what you should be paying. Like, check out this manufacturer." So like, she's been super helpful, and knowing people like Priscilla has been great. So we're definitely ripping off Sune a bit. We're trying to get into the same game she's into, but shout out to Priscilla, and everybody should be. That's what we're giving away now, and we love promoting Priscilla's stuff because she's been nothing but helpful to us. And I don't know, it's great to have someone like that on Wax who's willing to hold our hand into doing physicals because we started out as digital only, and having to deal with physical inventory and manufacturing and all that stuff is like it's very intimidating at first. So having an expert be able to walk us through it has like saved us a lot of time and also money. We would have wasted so much money on the wrong stuff if she didn't just point us to like use this manufacturer. So shout out to Priscilla, shout out to Sune, shout out to Churotai, Valor and Vellum. We're big fans. And that's what we're giving away now. We'll do our last Grubfish, !Neon, if you'd like to join. But I'm just really excited. I know like a lot of Wax communities have been pretty negative lately, and it's easy to get tied into the whole like negativity to feedback loop of people bailing on Wax and soft rug pulling. But I still think there's a lot of great creators on Wax, and Wax is still a great tool for creators to find like build stuff for their audience. So we're not going anywhere. I still love Wax and use it daily as much as I like to complain about it. It's more the specific projects on Wax that I complain about than like the chain itself works great. Like go use other blockchains and tell me Wax doesn't work well. Like even going on Harmony 1 and trying to sign a transaction, it's like, this is slow motion. So Wax works great. And there's also like a ton of people building on Wax. You got a bunch of BPs like NFT Hive, Nifty Blocks, Bounty Block, like people building tools we use every day. So like there's a huge group of creators trying to grow Wax and make it better for the users. So I still love Wax, even though, if you see me in public chats bitching about it, you might say, why are you here if you hate it? It's like, I don't hate it. It's frustrating at times, but we still very much like Wax, and we don't plan on leaving Wax ever. Let's go.
That's true. There's definitely things that I'd like to see change and improve, and I feel like a lot of stuff has gone in the right direction since we've started paying more attention.
Yeah, my criticism is mostly because I want to see it better, not because I'm trying to watch it burn. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for joining. This will be our last Grubfish. It's been quite the marathon stream. We'll be streaming tomorrow at around 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. And we don't really have anything scheduled. Maybe we'll do more off-the-rails videos. We'll do some more giveaways. We can give away the rest of these Sune packs. And maybe we can play some other games. Maybe we'll play Diablo. I don't know. My stuff's not really set up for Diablo to be streaming. I have to go in the other room, but
Oh yeah.
We'll play some games. We'll have some fun. If anybody wants to check out the Wax projects or whatever, we haven't done that in a while. We're always happy to like pull up stuff and give our opinions. Though be known that our opinions are usually pretty harsh because we have bought into so many scams and rug pulls that we now have a very intense vetting process. So I really pick apart projects when people send them to me. And if you want us to just be like, this is great, buy it, that's usually not our answer. So happy to check stuff out, but know that we're not just yes men. We have strong opinions. Congrats to Zate.
Nice.
Winning the Grubfish.
Got sliced down at the very end.
I also think the Wax community is still great, as much as I complain about Wax. We got homies on Wax. We've met a lot of great people. All the people submitting videos, like showing us videos we have fun watching, like that's all people we met through Wax. And we're hoping to like do real life meetups with them and stuff too. So, what other blockchain are you making friends? You make friends on Wax. I mean that legitimately. I've never made friends on any other blockchain that I've like ever been interested in like meeting up with in real life. So
that's actually kind of true. That's like the main thing that like Wax has that nothing else that I participate in really does, is like a community that is accessible and like fun and not all about flipping and profits and stuff. So that's cool.
Fenris asks, what would be the top 3 things you would improve and change? I think we're going to have to hold off onto that until tomorrow. We're almost going for 4 hours, and I feel like that's not a super quick answer. But come back tomorrow, and maybe we'll talk about what we'd like to see improve on Wax. Just let us know next time you're watching, and we're happy to talk. Or hit us up in the Discord, which I think I sent you the link to. And we can chat about it in Discord, but I really need to eat. I haven't eaten breakfast yet today, and we've been going for 4 hours, so time to eat.
Yeah. I think the
Thanks
thing
for
that I
joining
feel
so
like
much.
people on the team and stuff would agree with is like trying to get more liquidity, deeper liquidity on chain, like more money. So you can actually trade, you know, like $100 or $1,000 or something of TLM into like USDC or something, and actually have that, you know, go through at a reasonable rate. If
Vote
you
for the
want,
OIG,
like,
and then also one last time, here's our Discord link. And I will be hanging out in Discord. I just got to get off camera and eat and stuff, but I'll be playing NFL Rivals and posting about it and doing my Wax stuff. So hit us up in Discord. Also, if you want to play BattleBit, I'll probably be playing BattleBit Remastered tonight. I love that game. So hit us up in Discord, but otherwise, we'll see you all tomorrow. Let's see who we can raid into.
See you. Don't forget to vote. Get the OIG.
Novo Pangea is going. We'll raid into Novo Pangea. We like those folks.
Nice.
A lot of times they do giveaways and stuff too, so maybe you'll be able to win some workers and be able to play that game.
Oh yeah, I gotta check.
Infinity Mirror. I kind of want to play some Buying the Dip while we raid out. I haven't played that song in a while. It's pretty great.
Buying the Dip. Buying the Dip is back on the menu.
Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you, with you. Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
First of all this whining by Wall Street is making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. GameStop was short. You can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of its stock. Crush these companies into the dirt. Thousands of stocks into the dirt. Then when an individual makes money, everyone's entrepreneurs. I have a kid who bought a house. Paid $50,000 and bought a house.
All right, peace out, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
Individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing, and now you're losing.
Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it,